Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's Uncle Jacky. I'm here with Moves. I'm here with Doc. Calm down. We'll be back in a few. We'll be talking to you guys about the presidential debate and how we feel about it, basically. And we hope to hear how you guys felt about it. We'll be back in a few. Calm down, Moves.
Yeah. I'm
Talks like his shit don't stink, but he's cool with people. I knew he's fine. Just Uncle Jacky better. Jacky was alright. Uncle Jacky was excellent. Fucking guineas. Jacky. Uncle Jack. Line, everybody get the line. Listen the fuck up. It's going down. Pay attention. Alright? Niggas a little weird, bitches a little weird, the block's a little weird, the heart a little weird, bitches a little weird, faces a little weird, fuck you all, you can have a fucking general. Niggas a little weird, bitches a little weird, the block's a little weird, the heart a little weird, it's a little weird, it's a little weird, fuck who you are. When I walk through, stop, silence, remain quiet, babies don't cry, thug. Yo, I think it's time we take a fucking time out to hear what Harlem got to say. What, niggas? Harlem on the vibes. You don't want no problem with us, guys.
Practice. I can show you practice. I can show you how to put $1 million in a mattress. I can show the difference between an icon and a classic. Baby in the major should be rolling in a basket. I'm advanced, and it's a lot of dance. From anywhere, my jewelry jump like Ja Morant. And Kif Tower shorts got me tanning with the babes. You would be a surfer if you ever had this wave. I just switch up my cabana, they throw shade. Matter top 5, the top wives know I'm the fade. And throw them out the loop, I be mute, playing cute, nothing to say to you. Cause when I'm back home, I'm like Kyrie, I won't play with you. This is magic with the fur. Tim Duncan on the spur. Tanya Harton on the skates. This that Kobe number 8. This the kick over the head in the hand of Sue Bird. This boy's superb. All I got is 2 words.
With the game, I'm standing out in the crowd. Also hard, gotta stack that cash out my back. Got the beats banging, speakers bumping loud. I'm the king of the game, I'm standing out in the crowd. I'm so hard, gotta stack that cash. Yellow tape wrapped around, I'm making a splash. My flow so hot, it's burning up the scene. When I step into the room, you know what I mean. Yellow tape, yellow tape, yellow tape. We on fire, we the ones in charge. Ain't none time. Turn it up, let the beat drop low. Yellow tape everywhere, it's our time to show.
South Beach murder, man, my crew come through. Every time I drop the top, the roof come too. Got no big homies, we know who runs who. Yeah, novice nigga ever from the 2-1. Check Nike Tech, bubble coke, Kyrie, smoking dry weed. So much drugs in a nigga system, need BIV. Baddies on my body, all the hotties call me Poppy. Chop cheese from Hobby, niggas still living high speed. I scoop all tender, I don't do dinner. Crime inventor, Lambo renter, stay high to the center. I told the niggas save a bread of no public defenders. We doing a attitude though. I'm high as Pluto. Mommies love me like Menudo. Already got it, you know. I get a bag of blue nose to do their party 2 shows. These niggas sweet as fruit codes. Tour days 2 codes. I ain't never do those. The Celsius is too cold. You f***ing with that dudo. You never sip on Nuvo. I'm giving new lows. You make a movie off me, you gon' need a new role. You just a bum in the pussy, that's why I call you puto. I got some foreigners out of town that chop it up just like a judo. A body cam my left and give you 7 like Ikuko. Next time they say with him, you go.
Give you number 7 like Kuko. Stop playing with that man right there. Stop playing with that man. What's good, y'all? We here on the debate show, you know what I mean? We here with moves.
We're in the building. We definitely in the building. Next time they tell you fuck with him, you tell them you go.
You go. Yo, that whole bar, that whole thing is fire, bro.
my nigga M. Dot, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm waking niggas up, man. I gotta do a show, like, cause niggas is fans now. That's the name of the show. Niggas is fans.
Look, I don't get excited
Niggas is fans now.
But that he just got me excited. Pause with that rap right there, bro. That's mad hype, bro. Mad hype. Pause, man. Pause. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to my nigga mate.
Bro, what's up, y'all? How we doing today? How we doing, Moves? What's going on with you, bro?
I'm doing great, man. I came in here sliding into to home plate, kind of safe. Got my pizza on. I got my meal down. And just like last second, I was having some technical issues. So I figured it out too. If you go onto the backstage and you put on your earbuds, it's not going to connect to the audio that's going on the channel here. Okay. So what you got to do is you got to turn on your Bluetooth speakers before you open up the program. So yeah, that's why I couldn't hear you guys earlier. But just for those out there that are trying to do the same thing, that's a little technical issue. But you just get yourself your headset ready ahead of time before you open the software, and then boom, it makes a connection.
There we go.
There's our morning nerd moment.
If you didn't know, now you know, nigga.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I guess we got some technical difficulty with Uncle Jacky, you know what I mean? But we out here, we hold it's another conspiracy theory Thursday with Uncle Jacky, Doc, and Moves, as you already know. We out here talking the debate, Trump-Harris debate that occurred about 2 or 3 days ago, September 10th to be exact. Yeah, we did a show on yellow tape yesterday. So we out here now trying to, get another wave and get another perspective on it. You know what I mean? I was trying to get you out here yesterday, but I know I hit you a little bit too late. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
We got you the next. It is what it is.
Well, and they dropped us. They dropped some late work on us last minute, and that there would be no way I would have been able to. I'd have to broadcast from work. I really wanted to see it too, because at least it would give me a little bit of like background on what you guys talked about yesterday. So I guess this is my way of admitting I didn't do my homework.
No, but look, did you see the debate at all?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay, so that's where this conversation gonna go, where this show gonna go. You know what I mean? And you see the debate. I know that there was dialogue among the people that watched it, and trying to get the feel and the vibe of the people out there in the world in general. You know what I mean? So that's what we did yesterday, because everybody didn't see the show, didn't see the debate, but we had conversation with our friends and family. And you also probably saw snippets on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. So we just want the feedback of the people and see what it is and how it is. You know what I mean?
Really?
Most of what I saw were just kind of snippets of perspectives on it. They had one little facet or another. Somebody had an opinion about it, and I got a good round in that sense, because when I was watching the debate, I had to ask myself, what's happening here? You know, I was kind of trying to put myself in the position of both of them answering these questions, and as things kind of shifted, I was like, wait, there's something not right here. You know, it's like, wait. You know, that she didn't answer his question. They asked him a question, and she didn't answer the question that he had to answer, and it's supposed to go back and forth, and yeah, it's yeah. So, anyways, I'm not gonna get too many.
Flockwell was good. How you doing, champ? What's up, Miss Brunson? I mean, if you do go back and you look at it, one thing I'm gonna bring forth. When we was watching it the other night, me and my girl, I was watching it on the couch. You know, she was back and forth watching it as well on the couch, and then she went in the room and watched it. I fell asleep. But one thing before I remember before I went to sleep was that my girl was saying that how Kamala, you know, Vice President Kamala sounded like a AI. You know, sounded like her answers
Ooh,
was AI. You understand? Was she answered and
yeah,
I answered the questions, but her response was AI. You understand? Because like you said, and we said yesterday on the show too that a lot of them didn't answer the question. You know what I mean? But if you go back and you look at the you know, watch it again, you know, some people who watch the debate again, you know what I mean? But if you go back and watch
yeah,
it twice time, you catch them answering the questions like out the 2 minutes that they have, they answer the question within 15 seconds or answer the question 15 seconds out the 2 minutes and then they ramble about something else. You know what I mean? But a lot of time they were deflecting the question and asking the other person to answer the question prior to it or previous to it. You understand? So it was a lot of jibber jabbering, you know, it was a lot of, you know, what have you done for me lately type of response.
yeah.
And and like I said yesterday too,
I
listen,
like that. I do. I love the Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately thing?
yeah, you know.
That
So,
takes me back right there, brother.
so
But you're
that's what.
right.
And it also looked like that the moderator was a little bit, you know, on the Democrat side or a little bit harsh or a little bit more trying not to run off with the answers of Donald Trump. You know what I mean? So they were a little bit one sided in my opinion. You know, but
Dude.
you know some people
Hey,
may.
check this out. Here's something that like I do remember because I like watching like people's behavior. I don't study it. I'm not a professional in it in any way, shape, or form. I was a card room dealer for 2 years. I got to sit and watch. Uh, I got paid. I like to say that I got paid to watch adults lie to each other for an extended amount of time. And I'm not suggesting anybody's lying per se. It's just like they're issued this particular hand, and when Kamala first started speaking, this is what kind of I don't mean to be a fear monger or anything like that, man. It's just that when she first started answering questions, she sounded like she had cotton mouth. It sounded like she was so nervous that she was dry mouth, and a lot of her deliveries had no confidence behind them. You know, it just sounded like there are some people that can't speak in front of the public. I can understand that they perform better off camera than they would on, or something to that effect. But at the same time, if this debate is stressing her out to the point where she's nervous, she's got the lights staring at her, she's got the cameras, she's got the nation staring at her, and if this debate is going to bring her to that point, what's going to happen when Russia attacks some other country? What's going to happen when is she going to be that friggin' nervous when she has to make decisions on our military strategies and shit like that? I mean that right there. Here, this is just a debate. All you got to do is say, hey, you know what? These are the policies I want to put forward. This is the plan that I have. This is a solid plan because we've had a bunch of guys sitting around a table and they've been scratching their beards and answering questions. And yep, this is this is the plan that we're going to go for. And a lot of her answers were not specific. They were very generalized. We're going to do this, that, and the other thing. But the weird thing of it is that um, that moment where she was nervous. That was really kind of what affected me. Or not affected, but it's what I saw most during the debate. Now, later on in the debate, she was delivering more answers with more confidence. But I
Hmm.
think that's when she realized that the moderators were definitely on her side. I think she realized that about midway through, and that's when she started sitting back and copping that look to him. You know, you notice he didn't even recognize her. He didn't look at her in any way, shape, or form when he was answering his questions. And another thing I noticed too is that he didn't bully her. He could have gone in there and just upshot it just like he did Hillary, but he didn't. And this is
But I kind of think that has to do a lot to do with him. One, with the mic being off. Two, him also controlling himself as far as like he know that that talking, that they set up these rules for the reason that he can't rebuttal as quick as he normally would. He was very calm. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I give him credit as well because he was always jumping the gun and trying to answer the question before it was his turn to answer the question again. But he remained his
yeah.
composure. He was pretty much on point. And to go back to what you were saying about her being nervous and all that nature, that is so true. I heard the crackling in her voice. Um, I give her
You could
utmost
hear
credit.
her lips and
Yeah.
tongue moving around in her mouth when she was speaking. You could hear that, and that's my note. Sorry.
Oh, no, no,
Go
no, no,
ahead, bro.
no. But you seen it, you know what I mean? So it was public speaking may not be our strong point, and we have to look at the situation on hand that how she got thrown into the fire at that. She's not supposed to be the president elect, who's supposed to be the nominee for the Democrats. You know what I mean? She had to take the realms and the torch because her predecessor, Joe Biden couldn't withstand it no more. You know what I mean? So it was a short
Hmm.
notice, and she was the only one that had the buildup of the positive influence or the buildup of Joe Biden to run with it, and the negative spin that Joe Biden was getting at the time, whether he was too old, whether he was capable of being the president of the United States, that ran off on her. So she took the torch and ran with it. So you have to give her credit because she probably not prepared for none of this at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't think there's much in the Constitution, and I could be wrong. I could completely be wrong. I'm not a constitutional lawyer or anything like that, or I don't study it. I've read it several times, but to call myself any kind of professional, I wouldn't call myself that. But the thing is that I'm not aware of the contingency plans that the Constitution would have. Um,
Okay.
because I can understand the vice president stepping in because the president is debilitated one way or another, whether mentally, physically, or both, or they've been assassinated or something to that effect. That's I can understand that, but being a pinch hitter for or a base runner for the president because he can't, he's no longer competent. No, man. If anything, I would be irate if I was a Democrat, just like I said the last episode. um, I would be irate right now because there are so many better um, uh, Democratic picks than Kamala Harris. There's a reason why she dropped out of the race because she got zero votes. It's like I said, it's a little on the confusing side as far as a contingency plan because nobody's really pulled this shit before, and this is where I kind of like like I would have. I don't know if look, I'm kind of straddling the fence when it comes down to thinking that maybe I would have voted for RFK instead of Donald Trump, or maybe I would have, or better yet, if I was a Democrat, I would definitely vote for Tulsi Gabbard or RFK. Or there's just so many better candidates than Kamala Harris. That's where I would be pissed as a Democrat because she can't hold the attention. She can't stay focused when she's interviewed. And I don't know if that has to do with the fear of the public or something to that effect. And maybe she knocks it out of the park behind closed doors. From what I understand, in San Francisco, she did. But anyway, I had to sneak that in there. But the little cheap shots that Donald Trump didn't have, like he could have easily said, like, You know what, Kamala? I know at least one person that's not going to vote for you, and that's going to be former mayor of San Francisco, Willie Brown's wife. You know, I want you to ask Willie Brown's wife how she feels about you being a candidate. And did she endorse you? You know, because I know we got all. See, he could have really like given her the 1-2, and like you said, I think he respected the situation, but I don't know. I think that's the kind of fire that people were anticipating with Trump, and it couldn't happen because it was free
I,
will.
I mean, like that's the reason why I watched it. To be honest with you, like we said yesterday, like I watched it for the to be honest with you, for the comments that was gonna come from it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
Trump is a little bit outrageous. He's a Gemini, so he's gonna say sarcastic shit. You know what I mean? And just like I said before, that Trump. Two things: the Republicans don't want Trump to run on that rhetoric of bringing somebody down. You want him to bring his strong points of what he brings to the table and just present that, and kind of not be yourself but be a little bit more professional. And Trump has
yeah,
so far inside this the thing that we're going through right now. But in the same token, Trump is Trump. Trump is going to speak his mind. He's not going to hold back. And if he got something to say, he's going to say it. And I also said last week on a conspiracy theory show that he did admit that he lost the election. But when the moderator mentioned that, inside the debate the other day, he was like, that was just being sarcastic. First of all, it seemed like he didn't remember saying it. You know what I mean? But then
yeah,
when they was going into the question a little bit more, he kind of like, that was sarcasm. You know what I mean? We lost by teeny
yeah.
weensy. I'm like, yo,
But
this
he
dude.
did. Didn't he lose the popular vote? He did lose the popular vote, didn't he? He
What
won
what
Well,
electorally.
what it was?
yeah,
He did lose the popular vote, but he got the most popular. He got the most ever populated vote.
Electorals.
No. He got the most vote that a Republican ever got within the election tallying of votes. You know what I mean? So he
yeah.
got a lot.
In history,
You understand? But it still wasn't a mark to get over the hump of being the man that to be called the president at the time.
It's love, Hef. No
yeah.
doubt.
Well,
Appreciate you.
what most of the public was seeing, or at least as far as Republicans were concerned during that vote night, was they went to sleep at 11 o'clock. Trump had taken this lead like there was no tomorrow. It was a crazy lead, and then the next morning, Biden wins with 80 million votes. That's where the question popped up. It was like, whoa, wait a second. You mean to tell me within like 5 or 6 hours, all of a sudden these votes start popping up like there's no tomorrow? Um, so that's where the question whether it was a legitimate vote or a legitimate election in the first place. Um, the thing is that Trump was so ridiculed about questioning the election. It was what drew my attention. It was like, wait a second, you know what? If I'm running for president and I don't feel like I got a fair shake, it's my right to complain about it. It's my right to have it investigated. And it's not so much as that whether there is voting fraud or not. I can request that just because the rest of the parties weren't necessarily sure if the um, if Donald Trump had actually won. To do the proper investigation and follow the the oh gosh, it's the order in which things are passed from hand to hand. It's the God dang it, fellas. I'm sorry, man. I usually would pop this right off the top of my head. It is the not chain of command, the chain of custody. That's what it's called. It's a chain of custody for each of the ballots that are taken. So, there was some sketchy shit that took place in some of the Democratic areas, like putting poster board up on the windows so people couldn't look in. They kept the moderators that were supposed to be observing what was going on. they kept him away anywhere between 30 and 100 feet back. So there's all kinds of like questionable shit that took place during the election. Let's just say enough to create suspicion. So I'm not trying to defend Trump in any way, shape, or form, but and it's weird because these past like three elections, we've really had to pay a lot of attention to Dominion voting machines because Hillary was complaining about that the year that Trump got into office. Oh, I don't know if we can trust these machines. I don't know if we can trust paper ballots, etc. And then here it is, like 4 years later, he's complaining about the same thing, and then all of a sudden, there's all this attention that's brought to him because he was complaining about it. Hillary complained about it, and all of a sudden it died out. Within a handful of months' time. But at the same time, you know how Trump is, wants to bulldog his way into the right conclusion, so to speak. Which is what we kind of need as a president. We don't need somebody who's going to hesitate and get all cottonmouth when they're having a debate. When you go to talk to Putin, are you going to get just as nervous? That's the doubt I have. If you're going to talk to Putin like you just talked to Trump at the beginning of this debate, if you're going to talk to Xi Jinping or Kim Jong Un, or you're going to talk to any of the Saudi Arabian prince, how are you going to conduct yourself? As a president of the United States, it's I don't think she would handle it as well as Trump did.
I mean, circumstances, different circumstances. You deal with it differently as well. But I'm not too confident as well. So I'm with you with that. Like, if you get that phone call at 2:00 in the morning, are you prepared to make the right calls? And me and Jack, we discussed this yesterday, and we don't think that is not that it's not in her, but that first call is going to really jitter her and going to really, get her working. You know what I mean? So, but we need somebody that's going to respond firmly off that phone call and not get nervous and be like, don't know what to do and then have to ask questions. But one thing I want to bring up today that have been on the social media platforms, been on X, has been on Instagram, been on Facebook, have been a lot of things that have been talked about with this earpiece, that the earrings that she had on yesterday. A lot of people were saying that was a speaker, communication, two-way radio or
device.
Audio device receiving for information. And now this goes back to the beginning of the show, what I said about what my girl said before I went to sleep last night, that she sounded like AI. You know what I mean? And not only that she sounded like AI, but when she mentioned Joe Biden's name, she said, "Oh, Biden." You know what I mean? Now, I don't know if that was the right audio to text thing that's what she said. She could have said Joe Biden, but real quick. But according to how the repeat of the thing, it was like, "Oh, Biden." You know what I mean? So it was kind of like a mixture. Maybe you was getting something in your ear and you thought something that and so you try to correlate and then it didn't register in your head.
Yeah, you're saying something that you're hearing.
Yes.
Or you go to say a syllable, just
Speak
a
and
small
say.
syllable. Yeah.
Hear and say. Hear and say.
Instead of like, I see what you're talking about. It seemed like, wow, I'm gonna watch that again. I'm gonna watch it again, man. That shit's trippy right there.
Oh, they pointed that shit out. They circled her ear. I'm sitting here like, word, is that possible? I mean, it's possible. I didn't think to do that because the first thing I said yesterday on his show, that woman can talk. That woman speaks. She speaks wonderfully.
You said that, and then like I just said the moves before while you was having communication difficulty. That Alex said that she sounded like AI. You understand? Her answers was sounding like AI. So, and I'm not saying that AI was in her ear, but if someone is profoundly in your ear giving you the right answers, you're going to relate that. Not with confidence, but you're going to relate that how you hear it. You understand? So
relay it how you hear it.
So you're going to get some type of direct answer, and you're not going to be thinking about it because you're getting the answer from your ear instead of from your mind. You understand? So when she pointed that out, it kind of like was like, you know what? I don't sense it, but since then the morning when I wake up, you hear about the receiving audio piece that she may have in her ear, and then you see how it stands out compared to her other ear. You know that her hair wasn't covering her hair, covering the earpiece like to muffle the sound or anything like that. This one was like covering her ear regularly, but this one was out and open so that way I could get the feedback. You know what I mean? So it was weird, and to show the same prototype um, earrings that they're used for the audio receiving or audio relay, whatever the case may be, is weird. You know what I mean? It's very weird because you could
Well,
you
and the thing is too, it's a weird looking earring. First off,
yes,
it's
yes,
a very unique, very
yeah.
uh, like
It
I haven't
stands.
seen earrings like that. But then again, earrings have all kinds of crazy designs. It's just a simple fact that you can go to a website and pick one that looks exactly like the pair that she wore, and
Yeah.
it's you can put these earrings on, you can hear somebody talking to you or a recording, or you have audio and video, or I'm sorry, microphone and speakers that are hooked up to it, so they can hear what you're saying. That would leave room for somebody who's orchestrating the whole entire conversation. And that could be several somebodies, because we've all seen the stories of like NBC and ABC studios where, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you guys have, in the time that you lived in New York, I'm pretty sure you went to ABC studios for a shooting of some sort of show, right? I mean, right?
Hmm.
So,
ABC?
there's an
No, not
engineering
for
booth.
me.
Well, no, no. You guys never went to like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You used to be able to stand outside in Times Square and further downtown at the NBC studios. And if you stood in line there, they let you be into the audience and all that kind of crazy shit. Well, either way, um, yeah. If the earrings were in fact, some sort of oral prosthetic to help her as far as that, then that would suggest that somebody was orchestrating this whole thing, and it doesn't keep. Let's look at the moderators and the pictures of the moderators. Do they have any earpieces too? Or is Kamala the only one who is suggested to have an earpiece? I got to go back and look at this debate a little bit more closely. That's for sure. You know.
Yeah, they definitely highlighted that there was possibly an earpiece. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that she didn't have an earpiece and that she can speak eloquently without the help of
Yeah.
someone else.
It's
But
not.
I'm not gonna rule out the fact that she's a Democrat and a goddamn liberal, and it's not far fetched. But I'm still gonna go 70-30 that she spoke on her own with her own mind and her own brain. 70-30, I'm in her favor.
I mean, taking that you're an elegant speaker and you done spoke in front of forums before doesn't take away from you being on the biggest stage and going against the biggest adversity or challenge that you ever faced in your
Adversary, yeah.
in your life. You know what I mean? So that right there would still bring butterflies. You hear baseball players still talking about they get butterflies when they come into the playoffs. You know what I mean? So I mean that's just natural human instinct. You know what I mean? To be nervous, to be scared, and um, I mean, I think if she had the earpiece, I'm just gonna play devil's advocate. If she did have an earpiece, I think that that's kind of fucked up. You had an advantage over an opponent, and that shouldn't be allowed. One, and if you didn't have an earpiece, hopefully that you didn't, and hopefully that you it was a fair ground for everybody to be on, be able to speak and rebuttal off a question that was being asked. Go to the chat and see what Chris Tom put up. Conspiracy theories to distract us. I wonder what they distracting us from. I kind of think Harris is the one who is to carry on the torch of the elites. You know what I mean? Of the agenda of the government, if you want to say, or the agenda of the people that supposed to be, stringing the government along. Trump is not. Trump never been a chess piece to these people. Trump never been a pawn to these people the way he could be used in any of them. Trump been taking this to his advantage, and he been surprised by how far he has reached so far. And I kind of think
you know what?
they
I'm
put
sorry.
I kind of think they put a whole bunch of strings, a whole bunch of situations in front of us as Democrats. And the biggest thing to me is Cheney. Dick Cheney and his daughter voting for Harris. That shit just surprised the fuck out of me, bro. And I'm still shocked to this day. Like, I don't see them like going crossing over party lines for not Harris. You know what I mean? Go ahead, brother. I'm
Listen,
listening.
brother.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah, I feel
brother.
like
Listen, brother. If I deleted somebody and got away with it, I'd be with the liberal movement too. Let's stop playing. Your man deleted somebody. It was accidentally, maybe, and he got help. The liberal movement is probably the ones who helped him get away scot free. Like it was just an accident. It could happen to anyone. Yeah, it just so happened to happen to Dick Cheney. So him and his daughter are grateful for the help from the liberal movement and the Democrats who voted or who sat there and said, you know what, man, we're going to let this guy go. We could probably use him later on. And now it's time to return the favor. It's time. Let's go. We need you more than ever, Dick. We need you, Dick. Hey, Dick, we need you.
You know what? The whole Dick Cheney thing, if Kamala was smart, which I don't think she is, she can be an analyst. But the thing is if I were her, I would have come out and rebuked the Dick Cheney endorsement, just like Trump did with David fucking Duke. David Duke tried to pull some shit with by the Democratic Party, and he said he endorsed Trump, and it raised all kinds of racist hell like there was no tomorrow. And the Democrats were sitting there going, "Yes, Trump loves the fact that he's got David Duke on his side. David Duke is a known racist. He's a known KKK member, and this, that, and the other thing." When Trump went out there at least 10 to 15 times and said, "Hey, I don't endorse David Duke. I don't want his endorsement. I rebuke everything he's about and everything the whole 9 yards. He's a racist." There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And there's no skin off David Duke's nose to be called a racist. He's been called a racist plenty of times, and he probably wears that
he's
fucking
a damn
badge.
grand dragon. He's a grand dragon.
Yeah, straight up.
Like,
He don't
let's
give
be
a shit.
for
He doesn't
real.
give a shit. Yeah, straight up. Yeah, David Duke never gave a shit about anybody saying, "Hey," and pointing the finger and saying you're a racist, because he'll sit there and go, "Yep, I am." And that's what's twisted about the motherfucker. But the thing is that Kamala Harris has not come out and said, "Hey, you know what? I denounce the endorsement by Dick Cheney. He's a warmonger. He's responsible for at least 1 million Iraqi deaths, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts that he helped get us in that fucking 20-year war, and he made tons of money in it when it came down to it. But the thing of it is nobody stepped up and said anything just yet, and maybe it'll take some time, for some Republicans to put out a lot of memes, and memeing. Because the Republican side does meme better than the Democratic side. It sucks, but they put out some funny shit. And I think the meme monsters are going to have a field day. Um, yeah, there's no way she's getting in. Um, but she hasn't made that move yet. So maybe after a few days of a lot of these memes coming out about Cheney and his bullshit, because you have to think back 20, almost 30 years with Cheney. See, that's why he stepped up and gave her the endorsement. It's just another means of a Republican getting himself a little bit of notoriety for supporting anybody, let alone the Democratic side or the other side. So it's a little bit spicy and it's a little bit hot for Cheney to make these endorsements, because he may just have some time left in his political career.
Moves. It was the accidental shooting moves. It was the accidental shooting. It wasn't nothing else. I'm fucking with you right now. I'm fucking with you, brother. I'm fucking with you, brother. But
You
yo,
know,
CeeLo was good, brother. But
okay.
yeah, man, it was the accidental shooting. Because if I can get away with it and probably pay the family some money, and the same way that would happen with Gus Christophe, I avoid some jail. Well, no, he Dick Cheney was different. He was the vice president. He avoided the jail time, and he literally got away with murder. I don't even think that they can come up with a better story starring the woman who does How to Get Away with Murder. They couldn't even have a better story. They couldn't even
Well,
write that shit up better than that. I mean, I'm
even,
bullshit. This is total satire, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna stick with
absolutely, totally.
yeah, but
it was the gunshot.
even if you take that, you know what I mean, and it make perfect sense, you know what I mean. It make perfect sense. Like, okay, we let you get away with this, but we gonna need you in the future. When we give you a ring, you no questions asked. You know what I mean. So we got you in our back pocket, right? But let's check out the other situation that occurred right after the debate. Taylor Swift with her 2.3 or whatever million followers that she do have. Right after
Probably
the
billion.
debate, she drops a Instagram or tweet supporting Harris. Um
She's a
and
liberal. She sounds like her name is
Wait,
liberal.
wait.
Two last names.
but this is what I'm
Well,
saying. That
from what I
protocol.
understand,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead, brother.
The
From what I
whole
understand, it was an extended letter that would have normally taken a good like day or so to contemplate and put together and compose, and it was like literally half an hour afterwards. Like
I don't
she just
have
quickly jotted this
I don't
eloquent and beautiful letter right off the bat.
and that's what I'm trying to get at. Like
Yeah,
what was said and how it was said. I heard it came out like 2 minutes, 5 minutes after the fucking debate went off the air. You know what I mean? So it
yeah,
was like this was pre-prepared. You know what I mean? I'm just showing. I'm just hearing. I'm just presenting what I'm hearing out there in the streets or hearing out there on the internet. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
and
Well,
I'm just
hey,
my
you know what? If there's anything I would like clear about this whole conspiracy thing. Okay, so the title of the show is Conspiracy Theory Thursdays, and the origin of the term conspiracy theory came from either the FBI or the CIA after their investigation of JFK's assassination. They said these are the facts after our investigation. This is what took place. This is who pulled the trigger. This is this is the materials that they had when we did our investigation, and anything beyond that is a conspiracy theory. They came up with the term a long time ago, and the reason why I want this defined so well is that there was a comment in our comments said that conspiracy theories are distracting us. No, I disagree. I disagree in the sense of the fact that our um, our distractions are not conspiracy theories. This is the information age. We're trying to figure out all those little stories that were told to us, all those little wives' tales about another gunman in the grassy knoll to um, to the false flag event in the Gulf of Tonkin, to aliens, to anything. As soon as people could hack, as soon as people could own personal computers and hack into, you know, whatever they could get their hands onto for information, that's where we started getting these facts. So the thing, no, it was not a J. Edgar Hoover term. I am um, I am not. I am 70% positive that it came from either the FBI or the CIA after. This is only after the investigation on JFK's assassination. I would almost bet a punch in the face that I'm right about that. Um, but the thing is that our distractions. Okay, I digress, but uh, the distractions that we have, like I said last time, it's our music. It's the movies. It's the athletics. And now I don't want to take away from anybody's aptitudes, creativity, any of their talents. Because Lord knows, I loved watching Sweetness run the ball when it was the most awesome thing when I was a kid. I enjoyed sports the whole 9 yards. But they're a part of the arena. They're a part of the Roman arena that so imagine if you could broadcast back in the day in the arena times, you could broadcast to everybody what the Lions were doing to the Christians, or what the Gladiators were doing in the middle of the ring and the whole 9 yards. If that's how they distracted their public. They put games out there and they put festivals and they fed the people and they got them drunk and made sure that they had this entertainment to distract them from what was going on in the government, and that's how Rome fell. So here we are again. But our arenas, we got arenas across the United States. We got several of them per state. Some of these arenas aren't just for professionals, but they're also for college level. You know, these arenas have grown and grown and grown, and the music is in the arena too. The movies are in the arena. If you're looking forward to the next album to see what bars this dude drops or that dude drops, or if you're looking for the next album to see who does the best, power chords, or who's better drummer, this, that, and the other thing. It's nice to get kind of lost in creativity, but at the same time, that's exactly what we do. We get lost in that creativity, and before you know it, instead of trying to figure out facts for facts and doing our homework on whatever jobs that we want to attain, or what goals we want to, we're busy, like we are here, talking about what these politicians were talking about on there. But see, the thing of it is the difference between us talking about music and film doesn't determine what the future of our country is. Whether we have a whole conversation about what Kanye West thinks about Jews, it doesn't matter. We're talking about our country right now. We're trying not to be distracted by what he said, she said. We're going by what these two folks that are going toe to toe at this debate said. So yeah, they could. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Please
I,
interrupt me.
I agree with you with how they use sports
Sorry.
and entertainment as far as being being
Distractions.
a distraction for us. Um, but I also think that we do have poets and people that do music that try to bring out the creativity and try to bring out the natural or the organic response or the organic feeling that they get from making these music. But then you got these people who's at the top who's not presenting positive music or music that could move the crowd the right way. You know what I mean? They willing to put shoot your mother, shoot your father, let's go stick my dick inside, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know what I mean? They rather throw that type of music out there, and we gravitate to that a little bit more better than we do to the positive thing. So, but if you put that positive thing on a back burner and you put that negative in the front, you're gonna get more negative more negative response than the positive response. Um,
Yeah, I
got,
see what you're saying.
got a question for both of y'all. But then it's like, it's just a question to see where, and you didn't get the chat to see where we at too. Do y'all think that okay, and to answer the question to the one in the chat, J. Edgar Hoover was part of the FBI, I believe, and he implemented a
Yeah, he
lot
was
of
the
things.
head of the FBI.
He implemented a
Yeah,
lot
he
of
was the head of the FBI.
against the Black Panthers, against a lot of parties that try to come up in the '60s that were speaking up against the government. You know what I mean? He put a lot of what you call it. He put a lot of people inside these he put a lot of ops inside there. You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of people he brought to these parties to show that these parties ain't 100% what they say they are. You know what I mean? So he corrupted and put those disdain a lot of community groups that was out there trying to do positive for the community. You know what I mean? So now, if you say that the Black Panther is a communist, you understand? Then at the time, everybody worried about the communists. You know what I mean? Oh, it's China trying to get to us. It's North Korea trying to
Russia,
get. Yeah, Russia trying to get to
Russia.
us. Where is it going? You know what I mean? Who's funding these people? Because they can't be thinking. You can't be thinking like this by themselves. You know what I mean?
Because
But
they're black.
we everyday
Well,
people. You know
Ed,
what I mean?
what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you two gentlemen a link to an interview with Yuri Bezmenov. It's a long interview. It's an hour and 48 minutes long. But he is a Russian KGB spy that defected to the United States. And I kind of mentioned him last episode. And it's a little bit of homework, but at the same time, once you listen to this man explain the plans by the KGB towards the United States, you'll start to understand how all of a sudden, it seems like it's all of a sudden that we're worried about communism, but the thing is they had their ear more down to the ground or ear to the ground more back then as far as communism was concerned, because there was such a careful eye on politics. There were on both sides of the coin too. They wanted to pay a lot of attention to politics back then, which is why the terms conspiracy theory came up, and that way it would further divide people as far as information is concerned and that kind of stuff. And but anyways, your question. I'm sorry, I've interrupted.
Not a problem, because I mean, like I said, we building here, so certain times we get
Yeah, yeah.
but you also
Real
some
quick, fellas.
okay.
Now you can also
Oh,
you can finish your statement.
oh no. The question is this: do y'all think the JFK assassination, the answers that they gave us, as far as it was Earl, whoever shot from the depository,
James Earl Ray.
yeah, if it was
Okay,
James Earl,
Jones.
do y'all think he was the lone gunman inside of the JFK assassination?
You want to shoot first? I
No,
mean, no
please.
pun
After
intended.
you,
You
sir.
want to? All right. Well, after when I was young, of course, I went with what they told me. It was James Earl Ray. He was on the grassy knoll, whatever. But when I became an adult, well, not even when I what I consider an adult, 15, 16, and I was getting this information for myself because I was intrigued by President Kennedy because the things that were said by him. Plus, at the time, he had the finest wife on the market as far as presidents
Oh.
go. Yeah, he's Harvey Oswald. Where the hell I get James? That's the guy that shot Martin Luther King. There you go.
No,
Thank you,
yeah, there
David
you
John
go.
Miller. I'm sitting there like that doesn't sound right, and I'm sitting there like, but I'm going with it. But I
I thought
appreciate
you were
you, Lee
playing it
Harvey
around.
Oswald. No,
I really
I
thought you
really
were playing around. I
was
was like, oh, okay,
mistaken.
fucking dude.
James,
'Cause
because I
I,
almost said Charles Lee Ray. The Chucky, I almost said Charles Lee Ray. Chucky. So, David John Miller, I appreciate you. Lee Harvey Oswald. Yeah, I was really mistaken. I really was. That's my bad. That was a glitch in the matrix right
no,
there.
that's the
But
THC and the Theory Thursday right there, buddy.
yeah, that definitely was. That definitely was. But peep it. As I got older and Lee Harvey Oswald gave those interviews, he kept saying, hey, it wasn't me. And then he basically died saying, it wasn't me. I believe him. I fucking believe him. I
Yeah.
believe Lee Harvey Oswald. I don't think it was him because Kennedy was a young, fly, flashy white guy who was boning JKO and Marilyn Monroe. So I mean, listen, and then we're not even gonna deal with the last two. Forget that. But we can add Jacky O because she's a fine wife. She's a good looking wife. So you got this guy who's young, charismatic. The black people love him. He has a fine wife. He has the family. This guy is doing too much, too fast and he's aiding. His family is aiding Martin Luther King. This guy needs to go. And I don't think Lee Harvey Oswald is the one that did it. I'm sorry. I'm thinking that's the reason behind that conspiracy. He was too progressive. He was too progressive. We cannot give these because back then it's about the black guy. It's about the black man, and because I don't like speaking on racial shit because we're way past that. But back then, it was about the black man coming up, and he was an ally to Martin Luther King. His brother was an ally to Martin Luther King. They were allies to. They were the ones who were making Democrats seem like that was the wave, and this wasn't what it was meant for in terms of the government, not him. We weren't meant for Democrats to actually be helpful. We don't want that in the 60s. We don't want that. We want to keep things the way they are. You are too flashy, and too many people love you. You got to go. You got to go. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah.
After that, I want to explain. I want to give the after you speak. I want to give the definition, the abstract definition of the conspiracy theory. So,
yeah, there we go.
Go ahead, brother.
All right. So I never believed it, any of it, in the first place. When I was first presented it, and I saw the film, I remember my folks wait until I was old enough to actually watch the film after I'd watched a couple of horror flicks or something to that effect, because the death of JFK was it was such an important moment in the nation, and I would have never known that, with the exception of like maybe a couple of history classes in school going through elementary, and they would have briefly explained what JFK was about, and then he was assassinated on such and such date. I would have to remember the date for the test, and that was it. But the thing was is that this guy that I was told that is the strongest, most powerful man of the world that's been put in charge of, or this man who's been put in charge of the strongest country in the world. He was really good for legislation. He was making incredible changes when it came down to from equal rights to CIA transparency. He wanted to see the CIA smashed into 1,000 pieces. That's paraphrasing what he said, but that's what he wanted. And I didn't know this when I was a young kid, but within this past like 5 or maybe 10 or 15 years, I heard that speech that he gave, and he'd say, or he made that statement saying that he wanted to see the CIA smashed into 1,000 pieces. Now, it just furthers my belief that it was there was a conspiracy to assassinate him. What blew my mind, even as a kid, was the simple fact that our government might be involved, because it only made sense to me as a kid. How do you get closest to the president? You make friends enemy makes friends with your friend. So at the I believe that too, Denise Smith. I believe that Kennedy was going to open up a brand new era that involved the getting along of blacks and whites, because that was so stressed back then. Those relations, I think he was going to be good for that. He was good for so many different presidential facets all at once, that's why, and that's exactly why my mom told me why he was assassinated, because he had accomplished and set so many goals as far as landing on the moon. I mean, pick a goal. He's like Trump in that regard, because Trump wanted to do a ton of different things. So um, it didn't make sense
we
to
got
me
to troll.
that my mom.
Wait, we got to troll. We got to troll. I don't know if you're a troll. You got to explain yourself, bro. Explain yourself, bro.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not white. Hold on.
You got to explain yourself, bro. I mean, we not going to really. I don't really Norse. Or you a Norse god?
I didn't catch the other shit. No, I didn't catch the other shit. Let me look at the chat and see what
Hold up.
the
Here
hell's
goes.
going
Here
on.
goes. Here goes. I'll run it down for you.
Come on the live. Yeah, dude. White dudes don't talk like that. Like white dudes. Like, dude, you've been with me for like 15, almost 20 years, man. And dude, you ever heard me say a drop an N-bomb?
But
Shit, I
anyway,
got
yeah.
respect for
Well,
a
cheers to
motherfucker.
you, Norris
But
God.
anyway, back to what I was saying. As
Exactly.
far as
No, we got to cheers. I
um,
want to salute the Norris God. Hail Odin.
oh,
That's it.
oh yeah.
That's it.
Well, you can hail Odin. I'll hail Jesus Christ. And I
That
know
nigga,
Jesus didn't
Okay.
come down and
that
save a
nigga,
particular woman, but I'll still pray to the guy.
get a dick. You know what I mean? But anyway,
Yeah. But back
yeah.
to answer your question. This is what's really weird about. And I'm glad you asked the question. Was the simple fact that
German.
I saw through this shit way before my time. It was like, wait a second. Um, that means there's bad people in our government. This is why my mom paid so much attention to the government. But when she graduated high school, she could name everybody in all three branches. Okay, that's over like 700, almost 800 people. Okay, she knew their names, first and last. She knew what party they played on. They and the reason why she did that is because the legislatures that they made directly affected her dad, who served in the military, in the Navy for 30 years. So like they knew, she knew that if they were talking about, shorting a military paycheck, that's where she was, she wanted to pick up on it as soon as that was possible. So she would let all her friends know, or everybody that she knew know that this is how it was going to affect things. Um, so at the end of the day, um, my mom wept when she first went to explain what John F. Kennedy was about. She cried. I mean, like she generally felt to the heart a very strong love for John F. Kennedy, and I'm pretty sure it had to do with him looking like a pimp. But at the same time, I think it also had to do with a lot of the legislature that he wanted to pass to protect our soldiers. He didn't want to be in Vietnam. And that's another thing. The war machine didn't want to hear that. So like I'm getting fed this little by little as I'm younger, and yeah, there's definitely another shooter. After being out in the range and shooting high-powered rifles, it's not an easy task to take place. You can't just hire somebody to to just barely nick me in the ear from a couple of 100 yards away or 100 yards away. There are great shooters out there, but those are guys that have to sit there for, you know, hours and hours and hours, maybe days, to take the right shot, just to take off somebody easier if they wanted to. But the thing is that yeah, there had to be another shooter. I don't think Oswald was by himself, and that's the conspiracy is out there for us to discover now. There's no wool being pulled over our eyes anymore. We can put two and two together. We're not stupid. That it was, the citizens that created the Constitution in the first place, and that was during wartime. And the oldest guy who signed it was what, 20, 25, 30 years old, maybe 32 at the oldest. But anyhow, that's my take on it, man. I don't think there was anything legitimate about that. I I really want
So
all that shit redacted.
so now with that being said, and we all agree there was some funny business going on in that situation. Like, how do we allow as American citizens, even though it was a tragic situation that occurred, how do we go past that as far as as a generation go by living without having some type of red flags or yellow flags being thrown in front of us when the government say X, Y, and Z? You know what I mean? How can we trust what is presented to us as facts and it really don't be the situation?
Well, that's the chance that Trump took with doing all of that he did, um, because he knew he was going to only have one chance to allow his actions to speak louder than his words. So, like, it was kind of cool because he was his own foreshadowing. He would come up and say, "Hey, I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing," and then lo and behold, within the next couple of weeks or even a month, boom, I told you this was going to happen, and this is exactly how we're going to handle this. This. Um, from the border. Oh yeah, um, I'm going to build a wall, and I'm going to have Mexico pay for it. And people were like, wait a second. You just said out loud, and I'm pretty sure that the Mexican president is going to hear about this. You know, he's going to see the clip of where you just said in person, you know, that you're trying to be the most powerful man in the world and the most powerful nation. And you just said that you're going to build a wall and make me pay for it. You know, the nation heard that and they were like, what the hell is this guy saying? You know, how in the world is he going to have Mexico pay for it? And Mexico ended up paying for it, believe it or not, because we were going to, but just not in the like, okay, me as America lawyer, you know, going in, here's the contract. We're going to build a wall. Yeah, you're going to pay us X amount of dollars. No, no, no. They pay for it politically. They pay for it in trade. They pay for it in tariffs and taxes and shit like that. And at the end of the day, the money was freed up to build the wall, and we're on our way to completing that wall, and not having the 20 something thousand or 20 something million illegal immigrants coming in. Oh, that's another thing too. The illegal immigrants that are the Haitians that were eating pets in where is it?
That's the
Where is it?
eating
Where is it, guys?
cat
Help me
meme.
out.
That's the eating cat meme going around.
Yes, yes, it's the Haitians eating the cats in a particular town, and they call it this
Springfield.
town is called Springfield.
In
Exactly. Okay, yeah.
Springfield.
Right. I just got to think of the Simpsons. Okay, so I noticed that there were a lot of like Midwestern uh, black folks that were making some statements about that, but I didn't hear anything from the New Yorkers. I didn't hear anything from the New Yorkers. And the crazy shit is okay, this is why I find it funny. Okay, because I live there and y'all live there. And we see some crazy shit get right up on the fucking streets before too. And we don't say nothing because we know and realize, like, okay, here's some weird shit that I know y'all see. Is in a public restroom in New York City, when they still had toilet paper, you would find wadded up toilet paper in the garbage can next to the commode. Okay, and that just showed signs of an immigrant that grew up with no running water. They had an outhouse, or they went someplace else to do your number twos, and all of a sudden they're okay. I know I can do this because I have to, so I do this, and then the paper is supposed to clean. All right, so what do I do with the paper? Do I put the paper in I don't know, man. Let's just put it in the garbage because it's in a bag, and that's their sense of things. And I noticed this even with Southerners that, and there are, I kid you not, guys, there are still people in the United States here that choose to live off of spring water, collect their water off the roofs and into barrels and stuff like that, dig wells, and
Like seven share. Like seven share. Like seven share.
yeah, or just better yet, it's a I dare I say hillbilly way of living, and I'm saying that with the utmost respect because I'm half hillbilly myself. But the thing is that when I see
You're really
relatives,
not though.
oh, I get you that, dude. I check this shit out. I remember my uncle Otis being happy as a pig in shit, is what he called it. He was happy as a pig in shit when he got his toilet inside his house, and this is in like
Oh
'86.
shit.
In
The
1986, this
80s.
damn, yeah, he was absolutely ecstatic
86.
because he had running water in his cabin, this small little shack that they built. And I kid you not, I was a little kid sitting on the commode, and I looked, and there's a crack in the wall. So I looked closer in
That's
the
toilet,
crack,
y'all.
and I kid you not, I could see grass and trees. I could see right through the wall of this house, and they get like 3 feet, 4 feet of snow in Oklahoma. You know, this is how they live. And they have lived for over like 40, 50, 60, 70 years. And before that, they lived even more simple the generations before that. But they knew how to live off the land. They knew how they grew what they eat. They grew what they eat. They hunted what they eat, and they didn't interact. They didn't have to interact for with anybody except for their close neighbors. And every once in a while, they had to go into town to buy the sugar and the flour that they couldn't make themselves because you need sugar and flour to kind of like from making biscuits to all kinds of stuff. Homemade pies, oh, to die for. Fresh cow's milk, to die for, fellas. If you think you like, vitamin D milk because it's kind of sweet and it's better than that 1%, try yourself some fresh cow's milk. It'll knock you crazy. Oh, it's awesome. But that's why I respect it.
Yo, Dev, make sure you like and subscribe, right, man? So every time you come on, you come over here and you control, all right, my dude? Take it easy. You just chopping it up just to be chopping it up because you got fingers, all right, man?
But he's not even chopping it up. He's not chopping it up, though.
Anyway.
He really not chopping it up. He's slow.
You're bozo. But anyway, but back to moves. I just seen a survival kit today, and it's funny that you brought that up about people still drinking spring waters and stuff. I seen a survival kit today come across on my I think Instagram it was, and it was like off grid living, I think it was, or off grid living, and it had like a handbook on how to catch rainwater and filter it. Yeah, drop a like, bro. All right, man. I'm not trolling, I'm talking, but what are you talking about, man? If you're gonna talk, we'll talk about the subject on hand. You over there arguing with the chat and stupid shit like that, Daph. All right, man. Let's keep it funky. And I think you coming from my page too, because I just posted this back on my page, and all of a sudden you popped up. So I think you coming from my page. Let's be for real, you know what I mean? But anyway,
sub to post both pages, motherfucker.
Word, but no, but I think coming from my Facebook page because I dropped this on Facebook. Yeah, so talk to us, man. You know what I mean? You're trying to build. You came over here talking to us.
I talk so I could show some respect. Talk so I could show some respect. Say something that's fucking logical. The fuck out of here, yo.
Yeah. I'm the reason.
Hey, fellas. Is he insulting y'all?
Hold on. I'm the type of dude that walk you down the stairs. You know what I mean? This nigga the one that kick you down the stairs. You know what I mean? Real talk. So, and he won't even kick you down the steps. He throw you out the window. So let's
because that stupid shit. I'm tired of stupid shit, B. Like either talk what you gonna talk. Help on these nuts, nigga. Fuck hell, nigga. Fuck hell.
Okay, now let me ask you, fellas, because I haven't been paying attention. Is this guy like? Is he throwing insults or is he just throwing out gibberish and shit?
It seems like he's trying to do a bit of both. Because like I said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show you again, Aaron. My fault. Moves. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
You're good, man.
He come here first. He talking about finally some niggas on some live, and then he gonna talk about.
There you go, right there.
Right, and then he gonna talk about this, that, and third. Like, come on, my G. Like, you address us the right way. You know what I mean? We are
like, what are you doing?
But at the end
That's
of the
why
day,
I started talking about Thor and shit. That's why I started talking about Thor and shit.
Yeah, like you in the life, bro. Let's be for real.
I know.
What, man? What are you betting? Fuck out of here, man.
Whatever. You know what? Fuck this. Just let him type whatever he wants to type, man. You know what? We don't have to pay him. Don't mind. All we have to do is just do the Trump look, man. Don't even look at Kamala over there, fucking, trying to troll or semi-troll or whatever. It's whatever, man. Let's get back to the conspiracy Thursday.
Make sure you send a link to me about the KGB guy. You know what I mean? Because that sounds interesting. You know what I mean?
I actually had to listen to it about 3 or 4 times before I really started grasping it. And
we got to understand the world that we live in. You know what I mean? These guys, and I say these guys, they have a meeting of the great 8 nations. You know what I mean? Come together every year. You know what I mean? And they come together every year to come to bring forth on what kind of like what's their plan in the sense on why and where the world's gonna go. You know what I mean? And when it comes down to that, if we come in and sitting down at a table presenting our ideas and plans, and we may not be giving down to specifics. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna tell you my country secrets, just like you're not gonna tell me your country secrets. You know what I mean? And we do send out spy balloons. We do send out satellites. We do send out drones. We do peek over the water lines every now and then. We do fly to no air
Oh
zones.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So we do all of
Oh
that
yeah, we
for a
do.
reason to creep and see what's going on. You know what I mean? But at
Yeah.
the same time, like if we come together and we try to get an idea to make the world a better place and to to not to depopulate the world, but to control the population or control the masses in general. Like what like why do we have this other shit going on and this remixing that's going on with the world, man? Like it's
Okay.
crazy.
I got an answer for that, if you don't mind. I got an answer for that. The simple fact that the world's richest people, your WHO, um, your WEF, uh, they are contending against us as a country. We're the last like stand as far as freedom is concerned. There are countries like us, like the UK, Australia. They have rights and constitutions and such, but nothing quite like the United States. Another thing that makes the United States pretty fucking unique in comparison to the rest of the world is we're fucking badasses when it comes down to military. There's no touching us. We are the biggest flex in the fucking world. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. No, in a matter of 24 hours, we can place 250,000 troops in anywhere in the world. Okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, um, what keeps the troops, trained? What keeps us eating? What keeps us is our constitution. Otherwise, we would be just like these third world countries that have easily been overthrown by the Soros money, by special interest groups or NGOs that have or non-governmental organizations that have gone into these governments like Uganda, created rebels, rebellions, Rwanda on top of that. You can go back, like 20, 30, 40, 60 years, and you can see that monetary influence throughout all the wars throughout the world. So and we wouldn't be able to see that nowadays as laymen because that's what we are. We're blue collar guys. We clock in. We do our work. We go home, and we get the chance to watch a handful of videos or try to educate ourselves left and right. But the information age has allowed us to do that so much faster. It's not even funny. So we may be slow on the uptake when it comes down to it, but we eventually figure everything out. We have figured everything out. I think we have when it comes down to a nation that has realized that um, these prior governmental regimes have been trying to separate black and white, Chinese from black, or whatever the hell. They're trying to create all these differences, and they do that with our entertainment. They do that with our music. They've been trying to manipulate and push us into this, or back us into this corner. And now they've backed us into a corner to the point where we don't buy your pandering anymore. You can't tell us what we want to hear anymore. That's it. We are um, um, we are as a people capable of that multifaceted thought. We can pay attention to what's going on in the political realm to the point now our vote is absolutely educated now. We can study this until our heads
Oh shit.
explode. You can study the Constitution until your heads explode. See, I really don't know any other countries in America, right? Yeah, there you go. Right
Yeah,
now,
address
yeah,
that.
and
Yeah, that's where I'm at
that's an
too.
excellent way to
That's
look
where
at
I'm
it
at.
too.
No, that's the first
Repair us
fucking
as the
smart thing this
taxpayers.
motherfucker said all night. That's the first intelligent
Yeah,
thing this motherfucker said all night. Now
yeah,
he's
and
not
and why
trolling. Fucking
why in the world?
come
Why in the
on,
world are
bro.
we sending? How are we okay with us sending our money to the Ukraine? How are we okay? Okay, so like, if there's
Right.
criminal
Fuck that shit.
injustice for if there's criminal injustice out throughout this entire world, and we're trying to use Ukraine as an example of preservation of democracy, what happened to the election in Zimbabwe? What happened to
Which
the
is kind
election in Uganda? What happened to the elections that were in these
of
other African countries? Huh?
no. I'm finishing what you're saying
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm about
Well, where was our voice back then? That's what I'm asking. It's like, wait a second. If you're so concerned, and that there lies in the question. That the answer lies in the question itself. We have no business doing that. They had every business in the world taking care of their own problems. But for some reason, for one political reason or another, it gets brought attention to, and it's only one issue throughout the world. And it's a funny thing because, like, a lot of folks will say that we're tax chattel and slaves, and I, to a certain level of degree, I believe it. But at the same time, if you're worried about um, prior history of black slaves in the United States, where is your voice in the Congo? Where is your voice for the 40,000 kids that have to go and pull lithium out of these mines or cobalt? I'm sorry, cobalt out of these mines in the Congo, and that is happening right fucking now. Nobody's
it's
saying
not
a goddamn word about it. But our main
it's not
fucking concern is in Eastern Europe. Yeah, why is that? Because it's bullshit. They're just bringing our
let's
attention to one specific
let's
problem, and it's like,
listen
whoa,
what
wait a second. All of this shit
listen
is happening like right now,
when you
and
said
why aren't
music
we making?
when you said music was part of the problem, you know what I mean? I also said that it wasn't because the creativity of music, could bring out wonders in the world. You know what I mean? At the time we had a music we had all the singers, R&B singers and people, country singers come together and sing We Are the World when AIDS in Africa was brought to the forefront after years of saying AIDS was a problem. You know what I mean? And what the
Yeah,
issue in Africa, starvation in Africa. You know what I mean? So we came, that singers came together, but that was their creative minds putting it together. You know what I mean? And producers that wasn't under the web fully of the entertainment business. Now to go back to what you were saying about Ukraine and about why we sending money. We shouldn't be sending money to Ukraine, in my opinion, you know what I mean? But we doing that for the fact because it borders Russia. Our enemy is your enemy, you know what I mean? Your enemy is our enemy, you know what I mean? So if we could use a third person without attacking Russia directly, and we could weaken their defenses in any which way, their army, their morale, their finances, or anything of that nature. Why not do it from America's point of view? You know what I mean? And weakening our enemies first and foremost. Now,
okay. You asked the question. If you ask that question, then I'll answer it for you.
no, no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. I'm just bringing it to the forefront. Why we doing these things?
Okay.
You know,
Okay. All
you
right. All
ask
right.
these areas. Now to go into Africa and the Congos and to save them people, there's no benefit to us because now we have to employ people over there at a rate that's beneficial or that's a basic rate for that country. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm listening.
So if that's the case, then why pray tell um, does one problem weigh out another? Do we actually need recognition, or do we have to have a purpose to save a bunch of 40,000 kids from mining every day?
I'm about to tell you why, bro. I'm like I said,
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
it's not beneficial to us as Americans. You know what I mean? As American
Well, we
government,
should
not
still
beneficial.
do it.
As a person, I'm hurting for over there. As a black person, I'm hurting over there. You know what I mean? So like I hear what you're saying. Like we should be doing something about it. Yes, I'm not saying that we're not. But if it's not beneficial to America as a country and as an entity, then we not going over there. Like, and it's been shown all over all throughout times. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
if the government speak against us, we gonna go take care of that. You know what I mean? We did that. We did that in Libya. We did that with the Italians. We did that with we do that throughout the history. You know what I mean? If you speaking up against what we going for, you're not going to be here. And speak about it, like we give all this money to Israel. We give all this military supplies to Israel. And what for? Israel don't do. Israel's a small ass country that's defending what? But where they at situational in that part of the country?
That's some religious shit right there. That's some religious shit right there. And we supposed to separate that shit from everything else.
but,
That's all. I don't care. I dig what you're saying, but to me, matter of fact, let me say this. In my opinion, that's some religious shit right there. Because who are the powers that be in the entertainment industry in America? So why would you not back up whoever the fuck they represent? You got to dig what I'm saying, brother. Dig what I'm saying. It's conspiracy theory Thursday, bro. And
Yeah,
you got to
that's
put that in there
exactly
too.
how.
because let me
That's
tell you,
exactly why Kanye lost his mind. That's why. That's exactly why Kanye
And
lost
his
his mind.
money. Them
He
same
saw the
people. He
Zionism.
lost his mind
He,
and his money for the same
he saw
people.
the
The
Zionism.
same
Now,
people. If you
don't get me.
follow what I'm saying.
Yeah,
fact.
but I understand this is our chance to kind of take a stab at Zionism and this conflict, especially between Israel and Palestine. But at the same time, what Death keeps on saying is it's not our problem. You know, if we just spent like a decade or two, or not even a decade, let's say like five years, just concentrating on us, okay, taking care of the homeless, taking care of the sick. You know, we're rebuilding our military, a military that we can actually stand up and be proud of again, like we had in World War II. Um, and it's not to take any of the valor or the glory away from many of the soldiers that live now. It's a simple fact that um, we have been leaning, we have had legislators, or we've had presidencies that have bowed down to those that have figured out how to make a lot of money through war. And everybody gets a slice of that check. And I don't care if you're Obama. I don't care if you are Bush, either of them, and Clinton. I'll say it right there, and I'll stop right at Reagan because Reagan's only kind of questionable in that regard. I really haven't looked back that far to speak that accurately. But the thing of it is that
He let the raw come
not
in.
a well, the thing of it is they let that military machine come in, and that military machine comes with a lot of money, like there's no tomorrow, and everybody involved gets a slice. And now the Americans and the information age that we're in right now, we're realizing how badly we're getting fucked.
Well, let's
We're not
have a
even getting
share.
a slice. Yeah,
Let's
we're
have
not
a
even getting
share
it.
for an apology. As an apology. Like seven share as an apology if you feeling that kind of
Yeah,
way. We
there
do
you go,
conspiracy
man.
theory Thursday
Show us a little
every
love, and we
motherfucking,
got all the.
you know what I mean? Show love and we show love back, bro, because you ain't gonna sit here and disrespect us. I'm gonna stand up and I'm put my foot in your ass or anybody's ass who try to disrespect anybody on my panel. Give a fuck who you are,
Word,
so fuck who you are.
word.
But if you show love, death, your name is not even intimidating to me because you know what I mean. But if you show love, death, I'm gonna show love too. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show love too. So you know what I mean? Be a gentleman. Be a gentleman, and I'll be a gentleman. Or be a young lady, and I'll be a gentleman. Whatever you are, whoever you are, I don't
Yeah,
even care. I don't care. We don't care over
he's
here.
like, dude, you get mirror image here, man. Hey, you.
Word, you really
There you
will. You
go.
really, and I'm gonna make sure I will cut off conversation. I will kick everybody off the show so I can put my foot in your ass by myself. That's how real that is. Don't
Whoa!
disrespect my panel. Don't disrespect my panel.
Amen.
It's all love. If you show love, I'm gonna show love. It's all good because you seem like you are for what we're for, the betterment of where the fuck we live and where we were born.
Fact.
Okay, so I
Fact.
wanted to address something that you said, Doc, and I'm respectfully arguing, of course. And the thing is that um, shit. You said something to the degree that the objectives weren't really in line with our. What did you say? What was the word that you used, Doc? It wasn't in line, or it was in line with what we need. Like, you said that we had this point to be in Ukraine's business and in Russia's business, and it had to do with something that we believe in, or something to that effect. How was it that we had this common path, or was that what you said? It was something that to that degree.
Well, I was saying that they're
The hell, our
our
best interest.
their enemy is our enemy. As far as we don't like Russia, you know what I mean. And I'm just speaking of the American government because I got a Ukrainian girlfriend. I got a Ukrainian and half African American Italian baby. You know what I mean. So
Okay.
to the degree that I'm speaking up against it, it's kind of speaking up not against Ukraine because I got nothing but love for Ukraine. 'Cause that's where my girl family
Yeah,
from.
it
You know
makes
what I mean?
sense.
But in the same token, before I met her, I respected the hell out of Putin. You know what I mean? I respected Putin because Putin was his own man. Putin was like, I'm not going with the world and how the world wanted for me to go with. You know what I mean? I'm always had conspiracy theories in my mind. I always not even in my mind, but I always did research and did facts. I'm from back in the days of Michael Moore. You know what I mean? I'm from back in the days of the Black Panthers and watch how they was destroyed by the American government, by the CIA and the FBI. You know what I mean? So I seen how Martin Luther King was assassinated. I did research on that. I wasn't born at the time, but doing research on how they destroyed the Nation of Islam and how they did Martin Luther King. You know what I mean? So I'm aware of everything that was put forth and that wasn't put forth, but that too, like information and their research on things that you really have to dig in and either be part of it or come across it type of thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
with that being said, it's like if you know that your government ain't 100 with you as a person, and I can't speak of a white person because I'm not white. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how
Yeah.
they feel about government. Because a lot of times they all for American government or make America great again, which I don't knock it. But in the same token, like I said this before in another show, show me where America was great for African Americans to where we could go with that slogan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I can
eh,
I can try to answer that again if you like. I mean, because they're like really. Uh, I was born in '74. Okay, which is 6 years after the Civil Rights Movement, right? Because 1968 is when the Civil Rights Movement took place, right? We're gonna start at that ground, right, Carl?
mm,
Yeah, we can start right there, right? All right. So you
yeah,
got the Civil Rights Movement, and then 6 years later, I'm born. Okay, and what I observed throughout those years was a change that certainly had to time was an ingredient to the change. Okay, you can't wave a magic wand and solve all the problems, but you can solve a whole bunch of them by desegregating schools to and getting everybody together and communicating and um, then one of the things I remember when sports had 60-70% white folks that were in the sport. Okay, that's football, basketball, baseball, you name it. Okay, and
Like stuff share.
dude, look at the 49ers when they first won their first three rings. Okay, there was a lot of linemen that were white that were on the defensive end. There were a lot of and but my whole point is that and I know you know where I'm going, but I don't think where I'm specifically going you have in mind. What I'm saying is that um, through recognition of talents, through recognition of anticipation, drive, um, physical ability, and the combinations of
Ambition.
all of that thrown down into an athlete was mostly found in black folks. So that right there was a recognition of black talent, physical, mental, multifaceted, situational awareness, to the personal drive. One of the most motivated guys that I've ever seen in a video of was David Goggins, and he seems like he's like half white. He's a light
He's
skinned
a
dude, but
fucking
nevertheless,
animal, bro.
he is.
He's a
He's
fucking
amazing.
animal.
He's fucking
He's
amazing,
a
man. He's one of the. It really is,
David
and he's
Goggins is someone
overcome.
to emulate, bro. He's a fucking manly
Absolutely.
fucking
You know
man.
what? Every young man growing up needs to listen to David Goggins and start his fucking push-ups in the embryonic sac. That boy needs to start doing his push-ups while he's still in the womb. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I'm. That's all inspirational. I'd have if I had a pregnant wife, I'd have her with the speakers, two big ass speakers right now in her belly. But anyway,
Death.
um,
Look at that, Death. Hold on. Look at that, Death. Look how much shit we got in
yeah,
common, Death. Come,
yeah.
we like
So
Davy
check this.
Death. Come on,
Yeah, he
man. Stop
is.
playing
He
with us.
is. No,
Yo,
he's not.
yo,
He's not.
like,
He's
sub, and
saying some
share,
Mark.
bro. Hit that button, bro. We ain't playing over
Yeah.
here. We not playing
But
over here, bro.
all right. What I'm
Or
saying
sis,
is like
sorry.
yeah, back to the entertainment side of things, the genuine changes that took place in entertainment too. You as soon as gangster rap came out and R&B became popular, it soared like there was no tomorrow. There was millions and millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, that could be made through entertainment, just like you said earlier, Doc. But over the years, it's been tainted, and we can tell it. We can tell it in our instincts that when we go to listen to music nowadays, because very little of it has the same kind of essence and creativity that it had in the past. It seems to get diluted over the period of years because it's being manipulated. It's being manipulated to the point so it is a distraction to us. And the same thing has happened to scripts and films. We were doing all right job. It was almost embarrassing job when we were writing scripts in the '80s that included white and black folks on the screen together. From white men can't jump to 48 hours to then another a Beverly Hills Cop. Eddie Murphy was knocking that out of the park with that. Eddie Murphy was filling fucking stadiums back then. Stadiums. This is when America was great
He's still
again.
a man
This
to
was
me.
when America was great. You got from okay, I hesitate to say Bill Cosby, but yeah, he was America's dad. I'm sorry, but at the same time, you've got Richard
I love
Pryor
them too.
knocking it out of the fucking park too. You had Red Fox, one of the funniest motherfuckers that ever walked the face of the planet.
Robert
And
Harris.
so on and so forth. But what's and this is what's really weird, man. You cannot the first Eddie Murphy tape that he ever came out with. I've got every skit memorized, even to this day. I can tell you what the first joke is, the setup, the punchline, and I can continue the show from that point on. And I loved Eddie Murphy because he said a bunch of shit that I couldn't say in the household. Eddie Murphy wasn't allowed in my house because he cursed, not because he was black, it's because he cursed up a storm, and he was just revealing a little too much truth
Hey,
for my folks to try and
brother,
explain to me
we
when I
know
was
you're
a kid.
conservative and from a conservative family. We know you're from a conservative family. You're
Yeah, yeah,
conservative.
dude.
Shit, we're
I,
mostly
dude,
conservative.
I'm telling you this right now. Dude, we were not allowed to have like Motley Crue, Van Halen, Iron Maiden, Metallica. None of the heavy metal stuff. No rap stuff. None of that stuff. It was country music, or it was oldies, or it was classical. That's what you had your choice with. But at the same time, I got my fair share of like involvement in it, but it was because you make up for lost time when you become your own man in a household like that. So the thing is that um, I think we notice it today because we're elders now. We look back on what we were distracted by and what we wasted time on, and if we're honest with ourselves, we can be honest with others around us. That's the best thing as far as a tradition is concerned. Now, information age is added to it. Now we're at a race for information. Okay, so conspiracy theory, there's no such thing as them anymore. I don't think there's no such thing
Right,
as a
that's what I was
conspiracy
supposed to
theory.
be.
Yeah,
That's what I
I
was
don't think
supposed to be
there is.
reading. Let me get
I
the
think
definition.
I think if you really look and see things for what they are, I believe that the truth can be seen no matter what. Too many people are agreeing with the same thing. The rumor's not a rumor if it doesn't die.
Facts,
And we're
facts,
comic
facts.
folk.
Like we all are on the same page, but we just have our different cultures and our different views of things. And not only that, but we all want the same thing. I mean, we want the best for our family. We want to be able to defend ourselves at all costs. You know what I mean? But you
Yeah,
know, but we can't deny the fact that if you got certain people that thought they were dominant over one race for a certain period of time, their mindset is still thinking they are still dominant to a certain extent. Me and you may not think like that. You and your family may not think like that. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if you still got people that carry
Exactly.
generational thought, then it's a problem that has to be solved and has to be nipped in the bud in a sense. You know what I mean? And not on no violent shit, but just on some speaking out and someone, the one person that's who's close minded, just having an open ear. You know what I mean? And it's not,
yeah,
take it all in and be like, you know what, I'm gonna have a black neighbor tomorrow. No, it's not that. It's just the fact that we are here. We are here not to show dominancy at all, but it's just that things that we do show dominancy. Yeah. And as you said, from the sports world, you know what I mean, and to the entertainment world, you know what I mean, and to where we was a little bit outspoken than the average person, that we wasn't allowed in a certain household because I wasn't allowed to have Eddie Murphy in my house either, you know what I mean? Or I wasn't allowed to hear it. My mother may have
I
had it, you know what I
was.
mean?
I was.
Slick Rick, and I always say this thanks to my
oh
boy
God,
Tori. Slick Rick, when he came out with his album, I was not when I had that, I had to hide that album, bro. I had to hide the cassette, not even album. I had to hide that cassette.
I had to hide True Live Crew. Shut up, shut
Listen,
up, shut
listen.
up, shut
I,
up.
I had a James what's his guy name, Rick James. I had a Rick James,
Oh,
Mr. Policeman. I see you in my neighborhood. My brother, gave that to me. You know what I mean? And when he gave that to me, I didn't know what I had right there. And I put that on, man. That was like the baddest song at the time. I'm like 7 years old. I'm just 84. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm like
dude, hey,
I'm feeling
time out.
myself. You
Check
know?
this out. Check this out, dude. I fucking you're talking to a dude that used to sneak into my folks' record albums, and I used to try and sneak a peek at the Ohio Players fucking record albums. Dude, that shit. Oh my god, yeah, dude. Do you okay? Here's some homework. Ohio Players record album covers. Okay, you got to look at multiple albums. They are the sleekest, sexiest. No, I mean, I'm telling you, some of the bare naked. It's like there's a little suggestive stuff back in the day. That way they could get away with having it into a record store. But damn, it was like, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but and at the same time, um, we do realize that the more our parents kept us away from that, the more we gravitated towards it. And that's where the concentration of those particular mistakes in life are being uh, they're being distracted. That's where um, the entertainment nowadays, it's written a particular way. Like, hey, you know what? Next week, if there's nothing popping off in this election thing, we should talk about entertainment and how the scripts are being written, how they're being timed and paced. And it's pretty weird. There's a lot of commonalities that are in scripts. Well, like, have you ever sat there and watched an episode of something, and somebody's about to say something, you're like, you know exactly what they're going to say, and then all of a sudden it's 2 or 3 seconds later, that same phrase or that same ending of a sentence happens, and these are multi-million dollar productions, and that their scripts are absolutely generic. There's nothing original anymore. There was no like groundbreaking ideas as far as the entertainment world is concerned, because there are movies that are made out of themes that have been good movies, and now they're absolutely destroying them. Some of them are actually being destroyed intentionally, and some of them they don't even really know what they're doing with the story. Um, But like I said, that's a whole other episode. I could talk for hours about how you could sit there and be distracted. But how America was great again is the opened opportunities for not just black folks, but everybody. You know, to put big gigantic neon signs on how to succeed, how uh, to relieve yourself of certain, financial priorities. You know, if you, I think that Donald Trump looked at it in the sense that if the average American can just slap some of their problems or some more of their problems in the face with a little bit of money, they would be absolutely happy because you're the majority of our taxpayers. We don't really ask for much. A roof over our head, a decent meal, maybe some transportation, and if we can, work and pay for that on our own, we're absolutely happy with that because that's just what we ask for in life. We don't want to be a superstar. I ain't got a I ain't got a jump shot. I ain't got I'm just your average Joe. If you put me on an assembly line, I can put together tires or I can go dig ditches or dig holes, whatever the hell that I need to do. As an American, I can, pay my meager taxes and make a living, feed my family and that kind of thing with these sort of things. And then the Trump wants us to, or to, he wants to free us up so that we can create those opportunities for ourselves, from creating your own business to helping the companies that you work for out now.
I'm not knocking that, but okay, but just say this happens, right? Just say come February, he's elected, right? I'm just, I don't care who's in there because I think he's better for our country in a sense. But say he put in okay, inside somewhere he's able to put in, what, everybody that spoke something against me, whether it was moderate or whether it was real harsh, you know what I mean? Get them off the air, get them off the prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law that we can. You know what I mean? Hit them with all types of sanctional policy. The next February, when you have a show called Conspiracy Theory, y'all be talking, y'all be together. You and Uncle Jack be together. I'll be missing inside this shit. And y'all be Conspiracy Theory. What happened to Doc 718? You know what I mean? Why he ain't on the air? And I got no connection to no type of internet, no type of nothing because I done spoke against him. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying that I'm a little guy, so I'm not really talking about myself, but I'm talking about everybody that the Attorney General of New York State, you know what I mean? That went try to prosecute him and got the charges against him. People in Atlanta that said that he falsified votes or whatever the case may be, like things of that nature. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna sign an executive order to fuck up the blackball these people careers. Now again,
just a second. You do know that the judge was arrested just recently, right?
Yeah, I heard.
Jack just recently arrested the judge. Okay. Now there's a reason for that. Okay, because the the trial and all of its own is absolutely illegal as all hell. Okay, they brought people out of sections of law that they hadn't even and brought them up to places they hadn't even earned yet to prosecute Trump. Then this was to delay the campaign. This is what's called lawfare. Now, as far as the media, okay, Trump calling out the media like there's no tomorrow because they're dirt rags like there's no tomorrow. There used to be something called journalism. They called themselves journalists. And when you do call yourself a journalist, you have a responsibility to speak the truth. You have a responsibility not to put any bias whatsoever as far as what you're writing. Okay. All of a sudden, huge op-eds or opinion editorials is what they're called. Op-eds were put out like there was no tomorrow. It's my opinion as a journalist, as my time, this, that, and the other thing, is that Trump is a racist, this, that, and the other thing. He said this, that, and the other third, and this is how I feel. Fear, 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 fear him, fear him, fear him. Okay, so meanwhile, Trump is like, wait a second, you know what? I'm just a guy who's running and campaigning for presidency, and you guys are absolutely lying about me when you used to tell the truth about me all the time. Before I became when I was a Democrat, you had no problems putting my stories in newspapers whatsoever, and I had no problem gleaning or shining in those regards. But all of a sudden, I run as a Republican, and you guys are going to change your channel? No, this is bullshit. And he called them
It
on their
was
bullshit when it comes down to it.
party line.
Now,
It just a fact. Who owns these who owns these papers? Who owns these
okay, no. It's not that. It's not that. It's Operation Mockingbird. It's
because
listen. It's Operation. It's Operation Mockingbird. Okay, Operation Mockingbird is something created by the CIA. It's a project like MK Ultra, and basically, from the time the radio was created, the government took control over the communications to the public. Okay, so that has been going on since God was a kid. Okay, so with that being said, all of the media I kid you not, it goes from east to west coast to around the world within half a fucking second, bro. Whenever they decide what is going to be an opinion on Trump or any other like story whatsoever, it's going to say the exact same thing all the way around the world. There's not a unique point of view that you're going to get. It's only going to be one point of view, and it's already been decided within the even before it's even broadcast. Okay, so it's up to us, like little people, that have our cameras out and we record the event itself. That it's absolutely happening, and there's no arguing with the truth at that point. You see,
but
so
listen,
Who's a Fed?
hey,
Who's a
so
Fed?
so if it goes if it's being controlled, you know what I mean? Again, now granted that who's the face of it, if it's being controlled and the entity could be strung along, then it's gonna be strung along, you know what I mean? And if I could put people into place where I want them into place and I could control them, whether it would be with money, power, little kids, youth, ageless, or anything that I could provide to them and give it to them,
yeah.
then I'm going to give it to them because that's what they want. As long as they're going to provide the propaganda that I want to put out there. You
No,
said it
I don't
yourself.
believe you. I don't believe you because you wouldn't do anything that would taint your soul, brother. You wouldn't do
No,
anything that would go against your very nature. So to
listen,
say that you would do anything for money or anything for power or a kid or something like that, because it's a transaction, no, it
I don't
doesn't
know.
like what I'm saying, like it's not so much as that's what we're trying to define here. That's what we're trying to avoid is this is a battle of good and evil at the end of the day, is it not? And if he's trying to point out liars, that's one thing that we don't have time here in the South for. There's thieves and liars, and that's one of the kind of the.
like
But
I said,
anyway,
Trump is not part of the program. So Trump presenting this to us and saying that these are fake news. Yes, he's showing us that this shit ain't got no merit to it. Yes, and we open eye. Some people's wide eye like, yeah, I've been new this year. America, this, that, and the third. Some people's like, yeah, we've been saying that because it's been against us from day one. You know what I'm saying? From day
yeah.
one, from not day one from when you guys started, but from day one when we allowed us to get inside the game. You understand? But now,
I see what you're saying.
now it's against somebody that y'all that America look at as being not a savior, but being okay. I could get behind this man, like you said back in the day. Donald Trump was praised in the New York Times. And in the rap world, we was loving Donald Trump. You understand? But now, when he gets to a certain position, it's not because he got to a certain position and he switched. It's because now we hear more of the man himself. He's speaking now. He's not. He's not just throwing his hands up with a DJ and we saying Donald Trump is there. You know what I mean? Or he's saying two
I
words.
sell a
And
share.
you understand? So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I never said I don't
Oh,
like
you know
Donald
what? It seems like those things are happening more organically too. Those are happening more. It's like these are happening naturally. They're not happening because he put it together and he threw some money at this particular artist. This particular artist decided that he was liking Trump, so he came out with some bars about Trump, and it worked for people that were listening to it. Is that what you're saying? It's like it's coming
To be
out
honest,
naturally. It's not like
honest.
he didn't pull somebody out of the South Bronx and say, "Hey, kid, here are the lyrics and here's the music. If you can do it, it'd be great
That's
for my campaign. Here's a bunch of money."
what he did in 2024. I mean, not 2024, but that's what he did in 2020. Whatever, when he ran last time, he plucked a few artists out, and let me say, and the artists couldn't even say they was even registered to vote. You understand? So,
Yeah.
but back in the day, it was more so Trump had money. Who had businesses? Trump. Who had Trump Tower? Who had a casino in New Jersey? Trump. Who else had that? Nobody that we knew from New York. Nobody that we knew from Ohio. Nobody that we knew from Cincinnati. You understand? So it's just that he was a name that was out there that was making money. And as a person, as a black person, you want to associate yourself with money. You know what I mean? You want to associate yourself with a millionaire or the top dog of America that you think. But we didn't know there was Saudi Arabians out there with money. You know what I mean? Or we didn't probably talk about Arab money at that time. And when Jay-Z ended up coming to say Arab money. You know what I mean? So you gotta understand
Yeah. Yeah.
you gotta understand the concept and the concept of where we was as individuals in the hood. We didn't have no Obama at the time. We had Martin Luther King. You know what I mean? We had songs like that. We had groups that were preaching along the lines. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that wasn't reaching the masses because the masses were tired of knocking on the door. We are hungry. We are hungry. Or protesting. We are hungry. We are hungry. Nah, we kicking in the door now. We starving. We need the food. You know what I mean? So we have to understand the concept and the mindset and the time frame of all of this that we put into place. You know what I mean? We can't put in this was the person or this was the entity at the time. Because like I said, the newspaper been doing whatever they wanted to throw out there, but they had good night, Grace. Appreciate you for staying that long. But we had people that that were journalists that wanted to get down to the story. But at the end of the day, if I'm getting killed for telling a story in Mississippi for the going out there for the civil rights, then I'm taking a reporter and we going out there to investigate. We get dumped inside the swamp out there. Then who else going to tell the stories? You know what I mean? We
Okay.
scared.
If you could spend the last 3 minutes or so explaining this. Okay, I'm gonna give you a hypothetical situation. All right, you're a journalist that advocated a vaccine that ended up killing millions of people. Okay, not hundreds of thousands, but millions of people. Okay, you're the one that sat there in front of the camera, and you had the microphone on, and you're talking to millions of people, and you're saying, "Take this vaccine. Take this vaccine." Okay, the non-vaccinated are stupid. Um, we have already we've tested this vaccine uh, through the Warp Speed project, and it's absolutely fine. But the vaccine has resulted in killing millions of people. Should you be held responsible for passing laws that costed American, if not international lives? And that's what Trump is talking about. Trump is not talking about you lied about Stormy Daniels or you didn't lie about Stormy Daniels or E. Jean Carroll was supposedly raped or she was or wasn't. And the media was bringing attention to that. But my question to you is: how do you, as a journalist, take responsibility for pushing these lies that resulted in a lot of death?
Okay, what I
You
can say,
know,
if I'm a journalist and I'm putting this out and I'm going in front of the cameras or either putting this down on print on paper, um, the thoughts and the process of me doing the story comes down to the facts that I gathered, whether it be from the government government officials, whether it be me doing, going under the garbage can in the alleyway trying to find stories and find clues, this, that, and the third. Now, I'm supposed to do my thorough investigation. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? As far as a journalist, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's not the hypothetical situation. The hypothetical situation is you have already, whether you've done the research or not, you've been told to broadcast this. The editor in chief of your newscast place handed you your script, and this is what you're going to read. Okay, and what you read to the American public or the Italian public or whatever, the millions of people that you contacted, was that the vaccine was okay, and come to find out that the vaccine was responsible for killing millions of people. You are
so
spreading. You've already done the deed. It's not so much as I'm not saying that you, Doc, would ever do this. Okay, but
no,
I'm saying that if there are scumbag assholes that got paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to push that shit on our media. It was over and over again. And people who objected to this were blocked. They lost their businesses. They lost their platforms. They were demonetized.
Or
If not, they were
lives.
completely banned. They lost so much money. And the thing of it is that their voices have been able to be heard. Do you think that we could have saved maybe half those lives? Maybe three-quarters of them? So the thing is like my point is this, is that I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. I would have hung myself or I would have done something stupid.
but
I would have,
Delete it
then,
yourself. Delete it
but
yourself.
then you part
deleted,
of
yeah.
the you part of the masses that was part of the casualty. Then you know what I mean? Because those who sacrificed and did that duty, as far as went up there in front of the TV and said what they said, got the vaccine guaranteed because they was told they had to get the vaccine to stay on their job. You understand? So
Yeah, yeah.
there's people that took shorts. You know what I mean? There's people
Okay,
that
do you
went
know
out.
what that is? But do you know what that is legally? When they tell you you can't work unless you take a vaccine or suck a dick, that's work under coercion. Or
Listen,
yeah, no, it's either coercion or duress, one of the two,
It's
and that's
duress.
completely illegal
It's
for yeah, it is.
duress.
It's duress, and
listen,
I'm sorry I'm getting fired up, but the reason why I'm getting fired up is because of the truth. They got the ignorant excited about
listen,
this shit, and there is a
listen.
price that has to be paid. It costs
It
lives. It costs money, time.
shows you preaching to the choir right now because my daughter got the vaccination. You know what I mean? And her mother got the vaccination. You know what I mean? And my daughter was 17, 16 at the time, so she just wanted to be out there in the world and be accepted to go to the movies, to go out there in public, and you had to show the vaccination card.
To be a
Okay?
teenager.
So
Yeah,
so it for 2 years, she went through the struggles of like, what, I'm in the house, I can't do nothing, I'm tired, you know what I mean? And her father moved the way I move. Fuck the vaccination. Fuck you. It's my right as a United States citizen, and if you want me to use religion, I can use religion as a cause of not getting this done too. You know what I mean? So
Say that shit,
so
Doc. Say that shit, Doc.
wanted us to get vaccinated, you know what I mean? So and then they started throwing out, if you're not vaccinated or you don't show religious precautions, then you gonna get released. Listen, and if we was out there in the middle of the pandemic, out there rescuing food, going to different communities that didn't have no food, dropping off food. We were doing a lot of things for the community when the road was closed. You know what I mean? It was
yeah,
it was
yeah.
dark outside. It was nobody outside, and it was very creepy. You know what I mean? But at
No,
the
no, not
same
only
time,
that. Did you see the LA skyline? The LA skyline had no smog over it. It was
nothing.
fucking weird because it usually did. It cleared the skyline. The oceans actually got a little bit cleaner too. There was a lot of fish that were reported repopulating by the tens of thousands just in the first 2 weeks that we were closed, which would show the couple of benefits of us setting a technology aside for a week or two which is actually was a good thing, I think. But at the same time, at the end of the day, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, and we bought it, or some of us bought it, and some of us didn't. And the thing of it was, is like it gave us. I'm sorry to get all fired up, but dude, it gave us a choice. All right, we can either have that fanciful living for your child, or your child's going to learn how to survive from this point on. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're gonna, you know what? At this point, you're not going to learn from the schools. Okay, I'm going to teach you from this point on. I'm going to teach you how to hunt. I'm going to teach you how to grow. I'm going to teach you about a compass. I'm going to teach you how to dig a hole. I'm going to teach you how to capture water. I'm going to teach you how to this, that, and the other thing. You know, all these basics that have been forgotten and lost. No, be human beings. You know, because the women have their strong roles in those regards too. You know, the woman has got, old traditional women had her hands in the earth, planting seeds, taking care of the gardens, while the men went out and they hunted all day long. They would bring home meat. She provided the vegetables and the cooking and the upbringing of the children. And he provided the discipline. You know, it was just good news went to mom, bad news went to dad. They all delegated it with all that shit. But nevertheless, we had a choice during the vaccination mandates, and there was nothing legal about them as far as the Nuremberg Code was concerned. Because we didn't know what the fuck was in any of those needles whatsoever. All we were told by the media is, "You're an idiot if you don't. Here's a free here's a free French fry, a fucking burger." I couldn't believe it was a governor, mayor in New York that was doing that shit. Oh, look, there's surprises that are involved with this, and this is I couldn't believe that people were being fucking sold on this shit, and it was ridiculous. And I was sitting there going, wait a second, you know what? My folks were always trying to tell us, especially being brought up in a Christian, to be not led astray. One of the things as far as a religious upbringing was, it was a simple fact that you didn't want to be led astray, because if you were led astray, you were led to temptation. If you were led to temptation, you were led to sin, and sins severed your connection, with divinity. All right, so that's what those are the things that kind of separated us. So yeah, we're already paranoid about our behavior in the first place. So when the government is asking us to do some weird shit, that's where we got to kind of take a step back and go, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, this is and the people that even the people that were like, whoa, 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 they were being silenced. Anybody who had any kind of slight objection, they were considered misinformation. They were considered people that were either lunatics creating conspiracy theories and just to get attention. But you know, some of these were the most recognized doctors in all of history. You know, Dr. Peter McCullough he was blocked from LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, and he is the most published doctor in history.
A lot of people was denied fact finding, or their story is a lie. You know, a lot of people got kicked off with Instagram. A lot of people got kicked off with Twitter. And was because I'm not a Republican now. Like I told you, I vote as Democrats. You know what I mean? But deep in my heart, I got a Republican roots, because I'm more so along with what their party lines. You know, I'm really
have
for
Republican roots because you're black. You have Republican roots because you're black. And must I say again, after slavery, we were all Republican, meaning black folks. So your roots are rooted to the damn 19th century. And I ain't trying to, respectfully, I'm not trying to be funny or nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you look at it, like, we all supposed to be, as a man, we are independent. You know what I mean? We all for independency. We all for, not for no people. We don't look for no handouts. You know what I mean? We're not going to the government and be like, yo, we need this X, Y, and Z. And it's not saying that we don't need the help sometimes. You know what I mean? Or it's times where we could turn to and be like, we need that boost. You know what I mean? But we don't turn that way. But I'm just saying that there's people that brought forth the truth to certain things and just got kicked off and got denied, because they was going against the populated opinion or the government process. You know what I mean? To go back to what Def asked, How do we know the boy? Yo, we know he moves through growing up type shit. You know what I mean? Moves from the hood type shit. So that's how we know moves. You know what I mean?
Basically, moves is a mover, and moves through our neighborhoods or our city. Basically, let me say our city. To get the neighborhood, he moved through our
Can,
city. And he made not acquaintances. He made friendships slash brotherhoods. So moves is definitely legit. He's definitely you ain't got to question him. He's definitely legit. Appreciate you, KV. Definitely appreciate you
and,
too. Def Word. We did a whole 180.
And Def, not for nothing, like we trying to get all types of content. He don't live no longer on the East Coast no more, so we trying to get a concept from the Midwest, from the West Coast, from the North, from the South. You know what I mean? From Canada, from Israel, from Australia, from all over the place. You know what I mean? So we could get you on the show, get people on the show that give their insight. You know what I mean? It don't have to go against our same opinions or our same direction. You know what I mean? We have these shows so we can see what's going on in other people's minds. You know what I mean? And that's why we enjoy the comments from you guys too, and so that way we could see who's on the chat, so we could build with y'all too. You know what I mean?
We know you wasn't talking about KV. That was obvious. We definitely know you wasn't talking about KV.
The
Be it
KV was
male, I don't.
KV thought they was talking
That's
about
just
her. KV thought
or him.
Def,
You know, we can't tell. I can't tell.
I can't tell either. But either
So you
way,
know,
thanks for
it's no disrespect, no disrespect intended or involved. Appreciate you watching, appreciate your viewership, and don't forget to like, sub, and share to Doc718 or at Doc718 Yellow Tape. Let me make sure the name is up there. You can see that it don't show our names. I thought it was supposed to show our names.
I think you got on the bigger screen. That's why I don't know. Pause. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yes.
do. I do. So it can show,
But
you know.
but you guys already know. Appreciate the new sub, the like and subscribe. You know what I mean? We out here talking some real stuff type of thing. You know what I mean? As far as real world, real topics from real dudes. You know what I mean? Ain't no simp dudes over here. I ain't no simp. He ain't no simp. Um, and we just straight and
Definitely
direct
not.
talk. Shit. You know what I mean? But anyway,
Yeah, anybody on my panel or on his panel is definitely legit. It is definitely, you know what I mean? We ain't just finding people and just, you know, throwing them up. And plus there ain't nothing illegal going on anyway for them to even try to, you know, lock somebody up. This is freedom of speech basically. So it's cool. Like and that's definitely our brother. You know, it's probably newer to Doc. Like I'm the one who really know him, you know, more than Doc does. So you know, I've known moves. See, to the point where you can see I mistakenly called him by his real name or by what we used to call him in the streets. Not saying he was in the streets, but that's that's how we met him.
on the block.
Yeah, I met Moves on the block. That's basically who Moves is. He's a dude I met on the block, and
That's
you
what we
know he has a whole different perspective. He's literally been around the nation in terms of regionally. He's been on the East Coast, he's been South, he's been Midwest, he's been on the West Side, so he knows Kamala Harris, excuse me, or Vice President Harris. You know he has a different viewpoint because he was on the West Coast when she was running wild over there.
moves with an S.
Moves with an S, yeah, no D. Pause. S.
And how we know each other. That's my brother right there.
Basically. So yeah, everybody that comes through this panel is legit. Y'all gonna meet Hap if y'all follow football. You gonna meet Hap. He's coming with a Pittsburgh Steelers perspective, and you might meet people with a Cincinnati Bengal perspective, a New Orleans Saints perspective. Shout out to B Turner.
Word.
But yeah, hold on. Here go Moves now.
Hey, yo, you guys hear me? Yeah, there you are. I've got
Yeah, my
1% left on my
fault.
phone. No, no, that's
That's
fine.
what I figured
All
it
together.
was. That's what I figured it was.
I was like, oh shit, man, I gotta get this fixed.
Nah, it's
Back.
all good. We
Hey,
was
yeah, I'm
just
glad I didn't miss the last part.
moves. Can you explain who you are? And yeah, it's better coming from the source. Who you
Oh,
are
okay,
and how you know me, and then how you eventually became to know Doc, because people want to know.
okay. Let's see here. I was raised. Tell me you're bad. Dude, okay, all right. So I was born or I was raised in California for over 20 years, and I was raised in the farming industry. Okay, or not raised in the farming industry. I was raised in the agriculture area. Okay, so my first job was a lifeguard at a resort, and we did deep water, shallow water stays, and that was the most interesting thing I could find in this little town that I grew up in. Now, when I was old enough to go into a workforce, I didn't know any of these farmers or anything like that, so I really didn't know who to network to or anything like that. And so about I think I was around 26, and yeah, 26 years old. I think it was around it. I moved to Phoenix for a little bit, and that wasn't working. I was there for a few months, and just wasn't feeling it. And I called up my buddy and said that I was, I'm tired of California. I'm tired of just working. I need to go to a place where there's success is kind of like a contact word. The more people that you contact, the more you succeed. So I would, I was telling him, I was like, I was interested in New York, and he's like, look, man, you want to come out here, you got a place to stay, and I'll hook you up with a job. Well, that's where I ended up working at Virgin Megastore in Times Square, and uh, I bumped into this gal while we were out one night, and she gave me a job at Red Bull. So in 2000, I moved to New York. I ended up finding a job with Red Bull, opening up the Lower West Side Manhattan market for Red Bull. And it's pretty cool because New York had never even heard of it until I got there, and they'd already been there in California for a couple of years. And I loved this stuff. So we drove the little cart around and filled our fucking backpacks up with a nice cold Red Bull and handed it out free. That's what we got paid to do. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah, land of opportunity, fucking A, man. And I didn't realize that there was a lot of money on the streets back then, especially in 2000 and between 2000 and 2001. So I moved back in April to California, and 5 months later, it's when the towers came down, and uh, I'm still kind of traumatized by that. I can't really finish too many videos watching that shit, especially yesterday. So God rest their souls. And uh, I stayed in California for another handful of years, and then I moved to Vegas. I gave Vegas a year, and each of these like spots, with the exception of
Oh shit, we must have. Damn, no, there he goes. Hopefully the charger is charging. Keep the charger
yeah, if I
charging.
didn't, yeah, no, but if I didn't grow within a year's time, then I relocate. So in 2006, I decided to move to New York again, and I had no connection. I had no I started on the living sleeping on the sidewalk in subways to men's shelters. I mentioned that men's shelter in Brooklyn off of Marcy Street, and I forgot where we
Marcy Ave.
ended up on that, but I knew it was near Marcy, or it's on the Marcy Ave stop for the BDFQ, if I'm not mistaken. But anyhow,
By the G
or it was.
train.
Um, so I stayed there. I stayed there for a while. I went to another men's shelter. I rented my own couch, and then eventually rented my own room. And then a year later, I've got a roof over my head. I got a decent little apartment over on 116th Street. Now, here's some weird, interesting shit. The first room that I rented was on 117 West 116th Street. Okay, so I lived on 117
The West
West
Side, yeah,
116th
West
Street.
Harlem, Harlem, and Harlem.
All right. So then my next address, no bullshit, is 116 East 117th Street.
On 17th
Just one
Street.
block over.
That's where I met him. Right.
Yes, that's how I met y'all. That's exactly how I met y'all. And that's where, yeah, between Park and Lex is where I was at in 116. And it was, yeah, I tell you what, it was. I was pretty nervous. I ain't gonna lie, you know, for the first handful of months, because I, I I wasn't born and raised there. There are people that you know, like I'm in Rome, but I don't know how the Romans do. There's no fucking movies. You know, like I could go to Little Italy and watch The Godfather about a dozen times, and I fit right in Little Italy, man. I was living in Harlem, man. There's no instruction manuals they left on the ground or nothing, man. It's, you know, so yeah, it's and it wasn't complicated, but at the same time, it was you know it was unknown territory. So yeah, I was gonna try and be aware of my surroundings all the time. You know, look down, keep my wallet in my front pocket, and don't be staring up the fucking building, and you know you'll be all right.
Right, right.
It was funny because I think you and
I think you
June
met
and
James
no, it
probably,
wasn't
because I
June.
think you met James first.
I think
I
I
think
think
you
it
met
was
James. I think you met
yeah,
Jaime.
yeah,
Jaime.
yeah. I think
You
it was
met
you and
Jaime
Jay.
first.
All I know is that I was walking home from work one day and I didn't say a soul to anybody. I just looked down, kept on fucking walking, you know, and I started this job over moving, and it's right there in the Bronx, the South Bronx. They got their warehouse out there, and great moving company, by the way. And uh, I was walking home in uniform, and that's when some dude goes, "Hey, what's up, Oz?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I got a fucking nickname, man. I got real weird about it. Like I was like, man, I haven't even been on the street to fight a few months, and I got a nickname. I just kind of cool one. So I went upstairs and I kind of thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, it is kind of a cool, the mystical one, the one hiding behind the fucking curtain, the one that's got all the mind behind all that shit. And that's when I went to Jay and I was like, no, no, it was that superintendent under at my building that was running the poker games and had the AK-47, that fully
Yeah,
auto. He was trying to sell it on the street. He's all cracked out trying to sell. Oh my god,
I
this
forgot
brings
his
so
name. I
many
know who
great
you
memories,
talking
man.
about.
Uh, I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
he
they caught that
he was always
dude
Todd.
in his boxers on a fire escape. Yeah, it was Todd. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god, it was Todd. Oh shit. So yeah, Todd was out there. Oh my god. Um, whatchamacallit? I go to Todd and I buy like a quarter bag off of him. I don't know. I think it was around a half ounce by the end of it, but I took about six wraps. I spread them out and I rolled up this fucking Godfather. And I mean, this sucker was an inch and a quarter in diameter, and it had to be 10 to 11 inches long. And
Right.
I sparked that up and I went down to the block. And I said to myself, it's about time that I introduced myself to the block. You know, I smell weed every time I walk past this place, you know, and they're always rolled up these little, you know, small joints, small blunts. And they didn't have wraps back then. You went and bought yourself, you know, a white owl was a cigar white
A
owl. So
cigar. Yeah, a
really,
cigar.
yeah. You could. I actually made that blunt out of three cigars, and instead of six. But I want to give people watching, you know, kind of idea how much tobacco was used. So yeah,
Right.
I commenced stuffing it, rolled it up. I mean, it looked nice. And Kareem was out there when I first walked out there. I walked out there, and the
You
lights,
heard
the
that,
street lights
Doc?
just come on.
You heard that,
Huh?
Doc? Hold on. Here's some
Yeah,
funny shit
yeah.
right there.
All
Doc
right,
know him longer than
so check.
all of us. Wait. Doc know him
Oh
longer than all of
no,
us.
no shit, he knows me. Okay, so shit. I got another story about ready to tell you about this thing. All right, so anyway,
Small world.
So,
Small world. Small world.
small world. Oh shit. So, oh fuck. All right, so I get down there with this fucking, this god, because that's what Korea called it. It's god. But hey, man, this thing's a fucking. So I spark it up, and he goes. I said, "Yo, man, you smoke?" And he goes, "Nah, man, only weed." And I said,
What the
"That's what you
fuck?
said." And he said, "Yeah, what?" He said, "Holy shit!" And I said, "Yeah, man, it's the weed, man. You want to pull it, man?" He goes, "You mix it with tobacco?" I said, "Bro, I'm from California, man. We don't mix our shit with anything but weed, man." And he goes, "No shit, huh?" I said, "Here, take a pull." So he takes a big old pull off it, man, and instant tears, man. Opened his eyes up, bloodshot, like coughing, like there was no tomorrow. He's like, "Holy shit, man!" Hey, I said, "Sit with it for a second, man. Take a breath." He catches his breath and he goes and takes another lighter pull, and he's like, "Damn." He says, "You mind if my girl hit this?" I said, "No, man." He goes, "Hey, baby." He starts to walk away with it, right? And I was like, "Hey, but hey, I was thinking to myself, this is a fucking bad plan. This dude's gonna be like, no, who's blunt? Who's blunt?" Because like I'm not from the fucking Harlem. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I would have walked my bitch ass right back up to fucking my apartment and been like, "Babe, yeah, you won't believe this shit. I might have to stop somebody's ass here, and they don't know me here." So anyway, I said, "Where are you going?" He goes, "Oh man, I'm sorry." He turns back around. He does a 180. He comes back, and he brings the girl over, and she goes, "This weed?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, it's weed, man." All right, then she kind of looks at me funny, and she takes a puff, and that same thing. Tears went down there, fucking spit shooting out of her coffin like there's no tomorrow. And yeah, that's how I introduced myself on the block. It was just like
Right.
I don't. After that, I don't remember who it got past to. All it was some brown press. It wasn't. It wasn't no paper.
Peace pipe. Peace pipe.
But
Pause.
yeah, yeah,
You got the
yeah,
peace
yeah. It
pipe.
was. It was
Pause.
like go out. Yeah,
Did you ever get it back?
but yeah, I got it back. Of course I did.
Of course.
It was a vibe. And I stepped in with the right vibe, and then before I knew it, I was I was treated like friends on the block, man. Now the other story about Rain. Now he was drunk one day, and
Every
pick
day.
one.
Every day.
That's why I said pick one. So we're sitting there on the
He
stoop.
said, "Pick one."
So we're all sitting on the stoop, and he's at the foot of the stoop, and I'm standing up.
Ring.
I was
You
ready
gotta
for
keep.
that.
Yeah, Reem. Yeah.
Hopefully you finish this
Yeah,
stuff up, man.
I'm taking a little water.
Cheers to
So,
friends, new and
yeah,
old.
here's to it, man. So, yeah, he's cursing up a storm, but my boy had his two daughters, and he's like, "Yo, man, chill with the cursing, man. Like, I got my ladies here, man." And he kept on cursing. He's like, "Hey, man, how many times I gotta tell you, man? With the cursing. I got my daughters here, I think
Ring
I'm
was a
talking about.
bastard.
I don't want to. I don't want to. Well, he's the one I got Butch from. Okay, you remember the guy who had the American Bulldog, the white and red Bulldog that I ended up with on the block.
I think I
Anyways,
remember. I think.
he was right next door to us. His name was Jose. Okay, and he's the one who gave
Oh, that
gave
was
me
my
Butch.
boy,
All right.
Bugs.
Yeah, and he's got
That
his
was my
two
boy,
daughters,
Bugs.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
the
anyhow,
twins.
yeah, the twins. It was man, gorgeous.
Me, Jeff. I can't.
And once he laid out that laid out that rule, like don't be cursing around my girls. We was cool for like the next 5 minutes, and then he was drunk again and started cursing again, and then third time, Jose says, "Man, hey, knock that shit off." Now I've already gone upstairs and got this little like metal pipe and stuck it in my fucking pant line, and because I was ready to crack him one because he was talking shit to me. He's like, you ain't got a job right now. Your lady's paying all the bills, this, that, and the other thing. oh, oh, oh. But next thing you know, he keeps on cursing, and then he goes, "Fuck all y'all ends." And I was like, oh shit, you know. So that's when Jose got up in his face and he's like, look, man, I'm a man too. I'm an N too, man. You know, and he said, all y'all, fuck all y'all ants, and I'm all y'all too. You know, and he got down, got in Reese's face, and he wandered off. The next day, he got beat off the block. He got beat off the block with a paint bucket. The mechanic dude that was on 117. Fuck, what was his name? Shit.
It was a few of them.
Oh. No, he was like the main dude. He was two buildings in from Lexington. Between yeah,
Joe.
and Joe. Well, I think it was. I think it was Joe. But anyway,
I know the East Side pretty well.
I think it was. I think it was. I think it was Joe that beat him off the block. It's crazy. Oh, a dry alcoholic.
Yeah,
Hey,
there
dude,
was a
I'm
lot
praying
of
for you.
there was a lot of stories about that, about him rather, about Ring and being on the
Yeah,
wrong side of ass whoopings.
yeah. I never had to. You know, like he always kept his distance and respected me, and so I never really talked shit or anything like that. But it was, yeah, it is what it is. You know, it kind of sucks. But at the same time, looking back on this shit, I can't believe Doc knows Reed. I can't believe it. That's such a small world.
Right.
But
I mean, he known him longer than me by maybe like a year or two, but I don't care. He still knew him longer than us.
yeah,
And I mean, he
that's for
know him
sure.
from like the 80s. I'm gonna say the 80s, maybe the mid to late 70s. They've been going back.
Yeah,
Well,
Yo, shout out to KV. Yeah, definitely salute to your journey from 2002. I know, I
right,
definitely know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. And I'm
right.
gonna turn my camera off just so I can take a sip.
yeah, man. It's yeah, I'll pray for you definitely. Dry alcoholic is I had never heard of it until my stepdad and my mom explained what it was, and it's basically like an alcoholic with all the same, or no, it's an alcoholic that hasn't drank a drop ever, but they still have the same assholish qualities that they do when they drink. So that's an extra tough battle, and so anything that really comes out in um, uh, when you do drink those awful things, they're consistent. They're at a perpetual rate. It kind of sucks. Like I said, and much to your struggle, man. That's I'll pray for you. Yeah, good, good trek you have to go through.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, man. But yo, the yeah, we just went all over the place, and that's cool though. That's what conspiracy theory Thursday is about. You know
I
what I
mean, we
mean?
talk about everything, man, but we did the lead story for about an hour and 45 minutes. You got the main motherfucking point. You got that shit across. Now we allowed the freestyle because, any other time the credits would have been rolling a long time ago. We would have been sitting there smoking blunts, talking about what we going to talk about next week. You get what
Right.
I mean? Like,
Or would have been tired, getting ready for work type of shit. So I'm
because
good.
I
I
got
ain't got
some
to worry
churches.
about that.
When I made that post, I really got some churches. I got some
Right.
thighs and titties really waiting for me right now, and they all spicy.
Oh, I ain't got no dog. Though. I got some shrimps inside there that my girl cooked, so with some rice, so we can go with
I'm
that.
gonna make that too, because as you seen, I done hit like 3 L's. So the munchies got me ready to be Yan can cook. So I'm gonna make me some shrimp and broccoli with some white rice, and then I got a 2 pieces of chicken I'm gonna eat with a biscuit, because I'm gonna eat 3 pieces tomorrow and let it look like I'm romantic to my wife. Shout out to my very regular, very plain, very ordinary country wife. Mwah.
And
Still
that we
ugly.
and that we send links out to people to come on the show too. So you welcome on the show. I mean, this is not my show right now, but you welcome on the show. To come up here and talk your talk. You know what I mean? Especially if you're making some sense. But if you ain't making no sense, we definitely kick you off the show. You know what I mean? So just a heads up.
Yeah, definitely.
Disclosure,
Yeah,
you know what I
I
mean?
am always open to new perspectives, and I'm sure Doc 718 is open to new perspectives too, aka Yellow Tape. Doc 718, aka Yellow Tape, is open to new perspectives as well
I,
because we from the East Coast and we both moved around. We both been places. I'm sure we've been places the other hasn't. Like I've done the Midwest, I've done the South, and I'm working my way west. I only been to Vegas as far as West goes, but
Yeah.
we were very very
And
open to new perspectives. That's why moves is very important because
hey,
moves
my
has a
impression, hey,
bunch of perspectives.
my impression of Vegas was like you're not really missing anything. Is that kind of yours too, or no?
I'm not gonna lie, I liked it, but I wasn't like nothing beats New York. Nothing
No,
beats
I'm
if they
just
had
saying,
that shit in
man.
New York. Nothing beats New York. It was cool. It was mostly the
Yeah,
reason I was in Vegas because at the time it was my lady's 40th. So you're supposed certain years are what you call it. They're celebratory years where you're supposed to celebrate.
yeah.
So she's
By
celebrating
decade by
40.
decade,
So
yeah.
hey, yeah, let's go to Vegas. So, that's what all that was really for her. So as long as she had a good time, everything worked out well. But however, I did enjoy our hotel and I did enjoy when we ate in a restaurant in our hotel that would basically revolved
Yeah,
around Vegas slowly. So shout out to I believe
yeah,
I was in the stratosphere. Shout out to the stratosphere because that shit was 5-star dining. It was a 5-star. Well, I'm gonna say because I've been in hotels the same like it, but it was about 4 stars, 4.5 stars.
yeah.
But the
Dude.
dining was
A lot
five
of a
star
lot of folks
quality.
don't realize too. Hey, a lot of folks don't realize that in New York City, man, like you don't have to be, Donald Trump to walk into a five-star restaurant. All you got to do is have your cousin be a maitre d' over at the Renaissance or over at such and such, and they print out their
Shit,
credentials.
anything.
Before you know it, you take your lady on a nice little spot. Yeah, it'll cost you a couple hundred. Maybe it'll be at the same time if it's like I noticed that
It's a
the concierge
celebration,
that
so it's worth
worked
it.
at the Renaissance Hotel. Yeah, well, yeah, and like it was weird because the different odd jobs that I had throughout the city allowed me access into the buildings that I used to work in. So all I had to do is just tap on a super shoulder or something like that and say, "Hey, can I take my girl up to the top floor? We're just gonna have a little romantic, you know, a little date or
Get
shit
away.
like that." And yeah, there was one more thing that you could do throughout the city.
Nah, but Def,
Ah, this is a
you're gonna
shithole.
get your bread up. It's something you'll experience. It's something you're gonna experience, Def, because I mean, it's a right up, and it's to keep it 100. It's better if you go by yourself because, like KV said, what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas. So you want to go by yourself. You don't want to bring sand to the beach. I'm not sitting here saying you want to get a prostitute, but they are out there. They are definitely out there,
I
and they
always
are
said,
fine as hell.
I
They are
always said
fine as hell.
I wanted to
Are you
go to
kidding me?
the
Dude,
Playboy, not the Playboy Bunny,
Oh, the
the
ranch, the
Playboy.
ranch. You want to go to the ranch?
Yeah, I always said that, but I ain't with it.
See, I don't want to spend money on that. If I spend money on that, she got
me,
to do me
I'm
and
with
my
Doc on
wife.
that shit.
You got to do both of us. I don't care. That's what it is. You got to do me and my wife.
Facts.
If I got to spend money, because that's something worth spending
God
money on.
damn, you just
You be
do it for
sitting there
broke, man.
giving mad top all day.
Well,
You giving mad top all day. Death is all good. We
hell
all we
no, dude.
all on that
I was
loner shit.
never,
It ain't too many people that think like
I was
us.
never. Ah, man. No, no, no. Yeah, I agree. We're going from there, but that's where I draw the line. It's like I don't know, man. It's just
I'm not
important
paying
to
for
me, dude.
that.
Like
I'm good.
I went to Vegas with a different aspect of it. It wasn't a vacation for me. I was moving there. I was relocating there. I was trying to find a job and be, have a roof over my head and all that shit. And it failed miserably. I worked three fucking jobs and yeah, and eventually got evicted from my apartment. I'm like, fuck this place, fuck Vegas altogether. I'm going back to New York. And that's exactly what I did. I moved from Vegas to New York. No, no room, no fucking friends, no nothing. I'm afraid I'd go if I could. No, dude, you're not missing anything. You could spend a
Yeah,
week
you will. You
in
will. Don't
South
worry
Beach,
about
Miami,
that. Don't worry about that. You
and
gonna
fucking you'll
go?
have a
Cause I
great
need to
time.
go to Miami. I ain't been to Miami yet. I need to go to Miami. I want to go to
It's
Jacksonville
beautiful.
first, cause
It's beautiful. I
that's
spent
where
a
my
week
history
there.
starts. See,
No,
I'm
dude.
glad I got a
You all
little.
you got to do
I'm
is see
glad I
that
got a
fat
little
back
yellow
after you get
wife.
off the airplane and nah,
My wife red bone, so I wanna go to Miami because my wife red bone, and I don't mind seeing her in a bikini. So I do want us to go to Miami and experience that. I'll probably make sure we
yeah.
go in October, November. We're gonna have to sit there. We're gonna have to go to Miami. I don't want to have to drive, but I also don't want to fly. But we're gonna go to Miami. I'm gonna let her go out there with her little, what I'm saying, shit. What I mean, represent Uncle Jacky the only way I would want to be represented, and then make sure I have a place with a balcony so I can represent myself in only the way I could represent myself. You dig?
Don't tell me Uncle
Love it,
Jackie
baby.
had a fucking telescope in his bedroom when he was growing up in Harlem. There. And it's right out the
I
window
have
right there. Man.
binoculars. I ain't even gonna lie. I have
But fucking,
binoculars. I'm not
oh,
gonna
dude,
lie.
I knew it. I knew it. That was, you know what? It's funny. Okay, I nerd out on shit, but I'm very short on the uptake when it comes to certain things, man. It took me 3 years to discover that the higher that you got in those apartments, man, the more you can see with some of those telescopes. And I didn't know that until I started moving people with telescopes, and they live downtown. Oh shit,
I've always
some of the
wanted a
views.
telescope.
Telling
I've always wanted a telescope, but I never pushed
you.
the issue because looking at the stars in New York, I would have to go to. We know we got to go all the way up to our roofs. We got to go all the way up
Yeah,
because looking from the
yeah.
fourth floor, I don't
And
think
that's to
So I
see.
never pushed the issue, but I have
That's only
binoculars.
to That's only to see a few dozen. That's only to see a few dozen because the city lights take away so much from the stars in New York. That's one thing I noticed out here in the South, man. I was like, I got out here,
Yeah, you
and
see
one
stars
evening,
better down here.
man, you could see Milky Way. Where you could see the fact that we're on the edge of the Milky Way.
You could
Is
definitely
is
see some
absolutely
shit, and
amazing.
I'm gonna
Beautiful.
shout out to Georgia, shout out to
Yeah,
Georgia because I don't know. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I
yeah,
know nature. I only know what I've seen and I haven't observed it only on television or through my phone. But when I came down here, this shit was
yeah.
very very different. I'm sitting there looking up like I can actually see real astronomical or astrological, excuse me, astrological formations. I'm sitting there like yo, that's on top of the animals and shit. But as far as looking at the damn stars, that's when you maybe if I knew better, I could probably have seen the Big Dipper. I might have seen something. I just because being from New York, from the city, for basically more than three
Yeah.
fourths of my life, you don't see the stars. You see a star or a couple of stars, but you don't really see. You got to be on the roof, and on the roof gets you in trouble.
When
So you can't even really be
when I
on the
was being
roof.
brought up in
Not in the
California,
projects.
my boy My boy was born and raised in the South Bronx. We went to Catholic school together in California. His folks moved out from New York, and we were out front of my yard one evening, and a shooting star had went past behind him. I said, "Oh shit, it's a shooting star!" And he looked in the direction. I pointed it in another direction because I was fucking with him. Right? I was like, "No, no, no! Shooting stars only go this way." So he looked in the other direction, right? And because he didn't know any better, like he didn't know like the astrology and shit like that. He didn't. But hell, how often do you get to see stars, let alone a shooting star, and this skyline that blocks out most of what's going on in the sky? I mean, really, the skies are absolutely hidden from you when you live in the city. And
Yeah.
we were young. We were like 12, 13 years old when I was fucking with him, and he was fresh from the Bronx. And, I just took advantage of the moment. There's only that moment that I could tell that joke or do that type of funny. So I did, feel kind of bad for it because like, here I bumped into somebody else that lacked that experience until they themselves moved someplace in the South where there was no city lights whatsoever and took a nice gander at what was going on. Here's another thing I'd like you to do, Uncle Jackie, is tomorrow, if you got an hour to yourself, go out to a field if you can and just stand out there and face the sun. Close your eyes and face the sun. And you do it barefoot. Once you get to a spot in the field that you're comfortable at, you take your feet and take off your shoes, take off your socks, and you stand in that dirt. Okay? And then you come back next
gonna
week
keep it
on next
100.
Thursday.
I've done it already.
Yeah,
I've
so
done that shit.
grounding, man.
I've done it already. I've done it already.
It
I've
feels
done it in,
great.
in Virginia. I've done it in Virginia. I've done it in North Carolina. I've done it in Georgia. I've definitely done that, bro. Because everything
Good.
seems so different than it does in New York. The grass actually seems safe,
Absolutely.
and because normally in New York, when you stand in grass, you're thinking about stepping in shit. So when you
Yep.
go down south, you're not thinking about. I don't think about since I've been in Georgia. I don't think about stepping in shit at all. So when you can
No.
actually go on the fields and stand, barefoot. I didn't stand barefoot, but with my socks on,
Yeah.
I stood there like, yo, the grass just the soil seems softer. Everything just
Yeah.
seems different. The sky looks different. The damn and doing it at night. At night, I did it in North Carolina, and that's when I noticed, like, yo, we could see stars. This is what people mean when they say, "Hey, there's the Big Dipper. Hey, did you see Orion? Look at this. Look at that." I'm sitting there like, "Whoa, you could really." I don't know what the hell I'm looking at, but I'm looking at something. I'm looking at a
Well, what
constellation.
you what
There
you're
we go. That's the
doing
word
what
I'm
you're
looking
doing
for.
is what you're doing is like your pineal gland is like your Wi-Fi to the world. Okay, so your stars have a sound frequency, a light frequency. Everything has like a frequency that we can attach ourselves to a certain level of degree. Now, if you're a believer, like if you're a faithful person, then you realize that that is God trying to communicate through you, and you're that vessel and that kind of shit. Now, I don't want to get into something because I know how you feel about that, but at the same time, there is um, there is a sensory awakening that takes place, and that's where I'll take it to a scientific level. That way, there's no mysticism behind it or anything like that. It really is something that it's something as simple as water that God provided us. Okay, it's something as simple as water. That it really is. And if you realize that all those stars are frequencies that are trying to get to you and into your mind and energize you in the right ways and point you in the right ways. The you can do the same thing at night and feel the same way, but just in a different facet. So yeah, it's I should probably do it more often because I am high strung. I have to a certain level of degree disconnected from my world. It's also by choice, which is odd enough. But I'm becoming more and more aware of it as far as what steps to take in um, dealing with what I've been given. So yeah, I have. I'm a frequent
Listen,
smiler.
yo, KV is so positive. It's like, wow, whoever you are, I'm gonna give you a thumbs up. I got to. I'm just sitting here reading
Uh,
like, damn, like you make me feel good. You're making me feel good, like for real. But
That's
Def,
facts.
man,
yeah.
hold your head, bro. Hold your head. I mean, pause. The Vegas, they Olo said it. There are plenty of discounts to get to Vegas. I kid you not. Do the one where you can sit there and get a cheap discount on a hotel, a flight, and a hotel, a flight, and that's all you need basically. But the hotel and the flight, but you might have to sit in on a goddamn what's that shit when they try to get you to get a hey, you might want to rent not a summer home, but damn,
Oh,
sitting on a damn
a timeshare.
a
Yeah.
timeshare. There you go. They might make you talk about a timeshare. And I mean, what's an hour? An hour every day, if it has to be every day. And then at the end of the day, you tell them no. What's an hour every day just to spend 23 more in Vegas? What's an hour a day
Yeah,
if you get to spend
it's
23 more in Vegas? You talk about the timeshare, you pretend to be interested, and then at the end of the day, say, hey, listen, my finances really aren't where they need to be. I apologize for wasting your time. Yeah, maybe next time. Maybe next time. Hey, that's it.
Thanks
That's
for
it.
the time
I
check.
mean,
Yeah, you see
word,
timeshare, you
like,
just run and don't look back.
yeah, talk about a timeshare. Shit. I mean, if I want to go back, if I get the chance to, I'll do it. Because I spent over. I'm not
I
even going to
wouldn't.
talk about that because it don't even matter. But I spent when I went, I spent a lot of money. I'm gonna say that. So if I can get something with and talk about timeshares, hey, and then bring my wife and have her say, "I will kill you" or "I will divorce you" if you buy it. Say it loud in front of the representative so that we don't have to go back anymore. I will divorce you if you decide to get this timeshare without me. Bam! Now we don't have to get a timeshare. We enjoy the rest of Vegas. And listen, you can go to Vegas. You can go to shops. Weed is legal. You just walk in. Hey, I want this. This. I still have the receipts from the weed that I bought because who the fuck ever thought I'd have receipts for the weed that I bought? Now come on now. Who would ever think I got a receipt for this? This is what I had in Vegas. Who would have thought that? Who would have funked it? I'm gonna go there. Who would have funked it?
That's it.
But for real,
The
like
odd thing is why.
Vegas is actually a cheap excursion in the grand scheme of things. I don't mean but in the grand scheme of things, Vegas is a cheap excursion, and it's something like KV. I believe KV said it's a bucket list thing. Knock off you went because I still have to knock off California. But the way my brain is set up, I am scared of California because I don't believe in taking off my clothes, my shoes, or whatever I'm wearing because I'm not affiliated with a certain group of people, and I don't want to have
Yeah.
to worry about what I wear. I'm just not with it, and I don't want to get deleted because you sit there and say, "Yo, my man, them Jordans is this color. Take them off," because I got every color. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo,
Yeah.
those is or SA. What you doing with that on SA? I don't want to hear none of that, and I'm not going for it. And since I'm
Oh
not
shit.
going for it, that means I'm going to get destroyed and deleted in California. So why go to California
Are
unless I'm
they?
going to Orange
No.
County or Wine Country? Why? 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 Because me being who I am, and I know I'm gonna get deleted.
No.
Why I
No.
am?
No.
I'm
No.
definitely gonna
Jackie.
get deleted, bro. I'm gonna get
Jackie.
deleted
Jackie.
because I'm
Jackie.
not.
I can take.
I can't
Look,
wear this
Jackie.
to
I can
Vegas.
take
I can't
you.
wear this to California, bro. I can't wear this. This what I
I
have
could
on. This
look.
simple
Look.
stuff I have on. I
I'm
can't
gonna
wear.
tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I could take you to places in California you'd never want to leave. Okay. Uh, you would. You would feel like the smallest being inside this giant forest. And by giant forest, I mean the trees are the biggest trees there are in the world. And what I'm talking about is the California sequoia. All right. And you can take
Yeah,
a
in
walk through there
Bakersfield.
for a whole day, a couple of days for that matter. And you don't have to worry about red and blue as much as you did back in the 90s.
But
In the
where?
90s, huh? Well, dude, if you want
Where?
to stroll through fucking Crenshaw Boulevard wearing red, go right ahead, bud. Knock yourself out. Wear a GoPro cam and broadcast that shit so we all can see what the fuck happened.
But no. But listen, I can't even go to a Dodgers game. I can't go to a Dodgers game because after the game, and I'm sitting there getting ready to go to get me what is it, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles because I'm a tourist. I'm gonna get approached with that blue be like, what the hell? What the fuck, my G? And then
Hey,
now it's
dude, you
gonna
know
go
what?
bad.
No, look, man, I'm Generation X. We don't give a fuck, really. We've been jumped by Bloods. We've been jumped by Crips. There's good hits. A couple of us have been shot. And yeah, dude, just take a beating. Welcome to the club. You'll be fine. It's just like, but at the same time, all kidding aside, I can see where you're coming from because in the '90s, like I said, I grew up in California. I grew up during all that shit, and I watched the Bloods and Crips, and infest um, small towns all the way up through the coastline. I mean, we had Bloods and Crips in our high school. There was a riot that broke out between the two at the resort that I told you about earlier when I was a lifeguard. Over 200 guys got into it, man. They swung everything that wasn't bolted down. They threw everything that wasn't bolted down. It was chaos and all that bullshit. But at the same time, um, I don't know about the rest of the states, but there was this huge push for peace between the Bloods and Crips, and I'm not really quite sure how it was settled because you don't see the day to day bloodshed and blood in the streets reported as much as you did back in the '90s. I remember as a kid, man, like I lived up in Northern California. I lived 6 hours, 8 hours north of LA, and we heard daily stories about shootouts between the two groups, and there was like literally blood in the streets every day. And for some reason, somehow, maybe there's some folks that were more connected to that bonding between the Bloods and Crips, or maybe there was an agreement, or there was a backdoor deal that I'd never researched. All I know is that a lot of that activity had actually kind of quelled itself as the Bloods and Crips. I don't know if those that created some sort of power vacuum that strengthened um, any other gangs that stepped into their place for their business or whatever. But um, yeah, dude, you could go to California freely, but I honestly, like, just like New York City, I wouldn't go back unless I was visiting, like, friends and family and shit. And I know the spot where I was brought up at is a pretty safe spot, man. I don't have to worry about a damn thing. It's but at the same time, it's not going to be Epcot, or it's not going to be Disneyland. It's not going to be LA. It's not going to be San Francisco. And the fascination with the best fascination of both those cities have depleted so much simply because the homeless have been allowed or it's allowed homelessness to take place, and it's allowed rampant drug use and fecal matter. I mean, all the stories that you heard in the news, they're real. I've talked to my friends that live in San Francisco, and they've watched this beautiful metropolis turn to just raw sewage, basically. It's an awful thing to have to say. And from what I understand, LA has turned into the same thing. Now, LA has always been, a kind of a shithole, and where people fail upwards, so to speak. And but yeah, in San Fran, like I said, Golden Gate Park. Anyways, it's different. You got an app on your phone in San Francisco that tells you where all these little spots that people have reported fecal matter on the sidewalks and shit. So you could plot your way through your walk through San Francisco
Listen,
with avoiding these little
I go to
minefields.
LA. If I go to LA, I'm going to Orange County. I'm going somewhere, Beverly Hills maybe, and I'm gonna the fact that I'm still gonna have to watch what I wear, because if I'm in Beverly Hills and I honestly come to go shopping, I can't sit there and dress with all of this, because if the police look at me, hey, what do you do? I don't want to deal with that with police at all. They're gonna think, oh, you must be one of the ones that sell drugs, huh? You got this on you. Then they're gonna see a Georgia ID, and then they're gonna see a Georgia ID, and then I'm gonna sit there and tell them to eat all types of schlongs, like eat a wang, then down the third, and then they're gonna realize, damn, he got a Georgia ID, but he sounds like he's from New
All
York.
right,
So now
all
they're
right.
really gonna be bugging, like,
So here's how you do it, right? Okay. You're talking to a man that talked himself out of a lot of tickets in the state of California. And we talked ourselves out of some even worse, okay? And it's so long, okay, as you don't say shit like, look, man, I got right, okay? And they'll
oh,
kick you out of the
that's not even
car.
in my
And
vocabulary.
I,
I'm going
I
straight
understand. I understand.
disrespectful.
I know I'm preaching to the choir. I understand. Like that. I just want to list those things for those that aren't listening, that are listening to. And um, the or man, fuck you. Yeah, that never goes over well with cops. I don't care where they're from. But at the same time, in California, they seem to be getting away with that shit somehow. And When I say you, I say the general you. I realize that I'm talking to a black man, but at the same time, that's going around. Whoever's bold enough to be like, man, fuck you, I got rights, and I'm a sovereign citizen, blah 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 blah, and this that and the other thing. You go and rob a fucking store, and you'll be out the next day. You know, it's I don't know what kind of price you're going to pay in the future if they change the laws and shit like that. And they're like, look, we went back into our records and said, you know, you stole like $8,000 worth of shit in 2022, and we let you out, you know, the next day. Well, guess what? That company still needs that $8,000. You know, they're still kind of ramping up about us. You know, they're suing us for that money. So yeah, we got to press charges on you. You know, and that kind of shit right there. You know, that's where I was skeptical. I was like, it is so tempting. It really is. Run into a Nordstrom's and grab about $8,000 worth of fuck. Hey, it'd be easy to do too. You know, you go up there and you grab a bunch of shit, and you don't have to worry about doing any time. You just name goes on a list. Wait, it goes on a list? Oh shit! And that's where the fools
Come
play the
on,
fool at that
Def.
point. Yeah.
Come on, Def.
So
Come on, Def. Stop
yeah.
it.
Oh, is he? He's being negative again.
No, I'm just calling you a Fed.
Ben said what? No, dude, it's just like I fucking I can smell that
You know,
behavior, man. It's just fucking
honest
bullshit.
with you, be honest with you, if he'd have met Moose before Moose, you know, went down, he would have been called Moose a Fed.
Yeah, he definitely won.
it's the it's the fucking hat and the glasses and the dirty fucking ass.
Yo, you know what's funny? If he would have
I
met
was
you, wait. If he would have met you 2 or 3 weeks ago, he'd have called you a goddamn Taliban member.
all right.
Straight up, he was like, yeah, he's a Taliban.
I straight up look like
The
I
person, I
I
mean,
straight up look like I straight up look like I fucked ghosts. I mean, it was bad. Like,
Right, he didn't call you
oh
ISIS and
god,
Taliban
it
and,
is
and
fucking.
terrorists and shit.
word.
Omar, why did you not throw stones on? It's like my rotator cuff. You
Yeah,
know.
man, Moose is
Anyways,
legit, man. And then it's nothing. That would be such a waste of police or federal resources to come to this channel. This ain't even a. This is a new channel. This is like, what are you? Who am I? Huey
holy shit.
Newton? Like, what the fuck? What's going on? You like what's my man? Damn, the Black Panther that got killed, the young guy. Fred Hampton. Am I Fred Hampton? Like, what's going on? I'm not trying to, if I'm trying to link the Panthers together, I wouldn't have moves with me. You know what I'm saying? Definitely wouldn't have moves nowhere
Yeah.
near me. So it's not a Black Panther revolution. Like, shit. We just over here chilling. We like-minded individuals, and we're just sharing our thoughts. And speaking of thoughts, it's past 3 hours. So, we're going to have to, I ain't going to front. I'm getting hungry. I done drank a lot of beer. Well, 24 ounces of beer. I done had like 6 ounces of goddamn vodka. I want to eat. I'm not even going to sit here and lie. I want to eat, and not not a woman. I want to eat some food. I want to eat my churches. Like I said, I got 5 pieces of chicken left. I'm trying to be romantic in the morning, so I'm saving some for the morning. I'm gonna eat some now, and I'm gonna make myself shrimp and broccoli with rice to have with 2 thighs from churches. Let's go.
No.
I'm trying to go to sleep while watching Godfather of Harlem because that shit is serious. Boy, Godfather of Harlem is serious. Woo!
Ain't
For
that with
real.
But dude, what you gotta watch? What you gotta
what
watch
is
is the Enemy of the
that's a
State,
woman, right?
dude. You gotta check that shit out.
Well,
Herman
it's a TV
Forrester.
show?
No, it's a movie
It's a
that came out with Ben Affleck a while back, and it's basically
you talking about
stating
Will
the same
Smith?
kind of. No,
The Will
no,
Smith Gene
no,
Hackman?
no, sir, no, sir. It's called the uh, Enemy of the State is what it's called, and
I
it's with
don't
Ben
think that's
Affleck,
it.
and it's
I think you
I
got
know
you
it,
got
I
it.
know it is,
It's
dude. It's Ben Affleck.
enemy
Look it up.
behind, not behind enemy lines. because the enemy of the state is Will Smith, Gene Hackman, Jack Black, Seth Green, and all those guys. The movie you're talking about is
Oh,
enemy. It's enemy, but it's not enemy of the state. It's enemy something. It's not behind enemy lines because that's I think that's what's the name Wilson being serious for like the first time. Owen Wilson being serious is behind enemy lines, and it's enemy. Damn, Ben Affleck. I'm just gonna put Ben Affleck enemy. Wait,
yeah,
shit.
it's
Oh shit, you might be right. It is. No, it's not some of all fears. No, you're
some of
right. It
all
might be
fears.
enemy of the
Damn it.
state.
No, it is. I think it is some of all fears. I'm almost positive. It's some of all fears is written by Tom Clancy, if I'm not mistaken, and it's a Jack Ryan story, and it's a
Okay, Jack
pre
Ryan.
Ford
Yeah,
Harrison Ford.
shit.
Yeah, it's a pre Harrison Ford backstory with Ben Affleck playing. Um, I just said the guy's name, Jack Ryan.
Oh,
Yeah, Jack Ryan
Jack
played by
Ryan.
Ben
Yeah.
Affleck and
Okay.
Harrison Ford back in the day. Like Patriot Games and all that. So yeah,
Yeah, I got you.
if you get a chance, check that out. Some of all fears. It's a great flick,
Yeah,
and
2002. Yeah, 2002.
basically
Morgan Freeman too.
the deep state goes to assassinate the president, and at the end of the day, it shows how they catch the deep state. It's pretty fucking cool.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's good to apply with what's going on nowadays more than any movie that you've ever really seen. But that's pretty much what we're watching, bro. We're watching a fucking movie. This thing is being played out for us. The cast of characters. This is scripted. We can all tell. We can all tell that this is all scripted. That the debate went the way it was supposed to go. We were supposed to see that Trump went up against two other or three people in that debate. People with brain one between the ears are watching this shit, and it's about the it's about how much we're really paying attention, how much we really want, how much we want to keep our country. And the lesser of the two evils is always it ended up being Trump. With that, it is. It's 11 o'clock, and I do have to get up early tomorrow. I'm one of these
Yeah,
Thursdays.
and
I swear to God, I'm gonna stay out till like 2, 3 in the morning. I'll be like, yeah, I drank 3 Red Bulls, and it's kicking the shit out of the weed. It's kicking the shit out of the weed that I just smoked too. So yeah, I gotta go. Go, it's time. So,
I mean, any final thoughts? Any final thoughts on moves?
my final thoughts: vote Trump. Pray for your neighbor. Pray for yourself. Pray for your family. Um, keep it in a steady course. I think this debate was a good positive thing at the end of the day. It's simply because it was truth revealing. It says a lot about our media, and my biggest message out there would be, what, just take a look at some of the contrasting stories that they and articles that they put out. That they'll say one thing, and a couple of years later they'll say the complete opposite. That the politicians are the same thing. The only person that haven't been doing that were the Tulsi Gabbards, the Donald Trumps, the RFKs. They don't change what their platform is. And they don't sacrifice it for anybody. They stand with it with all the conviction in their hearts, and you can see this. So, and these are the people that have been pushed aside and denied the ability for the public to vote for them. Even though we've been hornswoggled in this weird coup-like situation that we find politically, and we're forced between the choices between Kamala and Trump. So at the end of the day, the side that shows the most um, coup-like and communistic characteristics are, is that Democratic side. So like the lesser of the two evils, even if I wasn't a Trumpster or whatever, would be voting for Trump. And I'm glad it's going that way. Glad people are finally seeing what we've been trying to let everybody else know. So with that, that's my final thought. And Red Bull's at the end. I gotta go to sleep. I
All
don't know how much
right,
longer
we
that without.
appreciate you for coming out, Mose. That's serious, man.
Most,
It's
you already
always a
know.
pleasure when you come out.
Always
T
a pleasure
agrees,
coming out
move, be
here.
on point. Most definitely,
Definitely.
bro. Most definitely. Appreciate having you,
Thank you,
man.
T.
I hope you can fall asleep immediately and handle your business. Because you always on the move, moves. So
Yes,
yes,
gotta go,
moves and,
man.
and
So
to these people, moves is legit. God damn it.
I do some crazy shit with the Jamaicans, man. I don't want to fucking hear a damn thing, man. I really don't.
Right. Like shit, man. He's legit. He's good. He's good. He's legit.
Hey, just say my name and rat in the same fucking sentence and see how fucking how lit up I get. Okay, so like I am. I've been told shit, kept my mouth shut like there was no tomorrow. I was playing wise in the fucking street. I learned what they were teaching me, and I wasn't even afraid to ask questions either. So at the end of the day, I came out
Bro.
pretty well educated.
Listen, bro, you was on 117 between Park and Lex with certain people, and you know what I mean? Ain't nobody ever heard your name or seen no shit on no affidavits. We ain't seen no paperwork. You ain't, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So shit. Good to me. And then plus there's nothing going on over here. Like what do you what the fuck
Yeah.
would the feds spend their money or police spend their money I mean, I'd be flattered. I'd be so flattered as a used to be street nigga. Like I'd be so flattered. Like y'all still looking for me? Like I've retired so many years ago. Like the most flattering thing I ever had was being in a police station and it's like, yo, we want the big fish. We want to know who this Jack guy is. Who's that? And I'm just sitting there like, Jack, I don't know who the fuck that is. I have no idea who that is, man. I just cook a little crack and smoke some. And you know what I mean? And then the dude ain't believe me, dude. Like touch my arms and my shoulders, like you don't smoke no crack. I'm like, man, shit. I'm just functioning. You see, I'm here. I ain't never been up north. I don't know what up north is like, bro. I'm functioning. I'm functioning.
Yeah,
I'm going home.
yeah,
Put
yeah.
it that way. If I gotta be a crackhead to go home, hey, I need help. I don't need jail. I need help. I'll take that. I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
I need jail. I need help. This, this guy fucking this guy fucking shows up, smashed to work one day, and the boss command goes over to him. He goes, "So, Joseph, you've been drinking this morning?" He says, "Nah, man, the hangover hadn't caught up to me yet."
Right. Ain't over yet. Ain't catch up. Yo, that is a fucking great point, KV. That is a fucking great point. You've had the chance to do shit already. And then
Yep.
you've been a stand-in for like a year already. You've been standing in for a while now. And you've
Oh
done
yeah. Here's another
nothing.
question. Here's a question. Do you guys remember the red coats or the brown coats or whatever coming around to us and asking us if we had our papers or anything like that, where we were going, what we were fucking doing in any way, shape, or form? Like during
Yo,
Trump's
that shit
era,
never hit.
how
That
often
never
were
hit
you?
us.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I mean, how often were you pulled over? In that regard, like that's exactly what Trump ended up doing. He wanted to fund the police, but not in the sense that to gain control over the people. It was more like have the military come in and train some of these police, and show them some of the ways that they de-escalate the situations in a wartime, as opposed to just a urban or city or something to that effect. And you can apply those things that have been battle tested to calm the situation down, so you don't have to pull a trigger or something to that effect. And I don't remember Trump assigning new cops on the force to stop riots or anything like that. As a matter of fact, there were huge sections of cities throughout the U.S. during the George Floyd protests that were undisturbed. They were left to be as their own when they cordoned off sections of the city to have their own portions of those cities. Trump didn't march the military in there to kick them out. They just died out after a while, didn't they? Like that right there tells you he could have turned it into a police state. Is what I'm trying to say. But he didn't.
Yeah,
If he was a Nazi, he would that would have been one of the first things he did. I want a list of all the
I
gun
don't
owners.
think he
We're going to go
is.
to them door to door. We're going to confiscate all their guns. We're going to use the military to do that, and it'll be cease and desist. There would be no questions, ifs, ands, or buts. There would have been like if they turned the military against us, we would be no different than being marched up onto train cars. If you want to go the whole like Trump is a Nazi thing, and he's not. He wasn't.
He's
Can we
definitely
agree
not. He's definitely not.
he not, but I also agree that Trump do not, gather his information himself. Like he don't research certain things. Like he trusts what people is giving him, and he trusts that he has the right people around him as well. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that he don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think that he just, entrusts the people that they give him the information is like this is exact to the T. And I say that because the assassination attempt on him was kind of odd that he didn't like push for heads to be rolling on the FBI, or the Secret Service because they failed them. You know what I mean? Good night,
Yeah.
Ms. Brent.
Nobody was fired for that.
Good night, Miss Brenton. You have a good night as well.
Thank
But
you,
Nobody
yeah,
was
Stan.
Doc,
fired.
your final thoughts before we gotta. I ain't gonna front. We gotta wrap this motherfucker up.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
get.
yeah.
Yeah. We went long tonight,
Cause
man.
we go because we'll end up talking for 4 or 5 hours. I know it. I have to take control now, and I apologize because I do want to talk shit.
Good. So
But
final thoughts.
I got an appointment in the morning. But go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, so final thoughts, like I've been telling you guys, even though it's conspiracy theory Thursday, off the conspiracy topic, go out there, yeah, do your homework, yeah, make the best decision for yourselves and your homes. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna take effect to you guys in the sense, you know what I mean? Don't take on the propaganda that's out there, and do yourself some research. That's the best thing I could tell you. You know what I mean? Regardless of who you choose and where you choose. But don't choose because it's a historical matter. It's a first of something or first of this and first of that. Um, I kind of think that we're not past that situation in life, but for this important, demeanor is for you to do your homework and like KB just said. I'm also for the second. You've been in the office for 3.5 years. What have you done while to change the course of action, the course of waves that we've been going? And you may not have the power to change it, but you have the power to influence the change. And it's kind of hard to say that you didn't do it then. Why would you do it now? But any event,
Right.
just wake up, America. That's all I could say. And, God bless us all, you know what I mean? In a sense, you don't have to believe in God or not, you know what I mean? But, there is a higher spirit out there that moves this world that we wasn't here prior to that. So, you know what I mean? You take it for what it is and for what it's not. But, the best interest of the world is not in your hands, you know what I mean? It is not inside the American government hands, or you would see other things being changed and other things being focused on. But since we don't see that, we got to go by what's good for your family and what's good for us as Americans.
Yo, I appreciate you, brothers. Yo, first I want to end this by saying, appreciate Doc 718 Yellow Tape, Doc 718 Yellow Tape, and I want to thank Moves. He's official. Moves. He's official. You know what I mean? I want to thank these guys for coming out. I want to thank Def. I'm glad we did this big fucking 180. I'm not even going to sit here and lie because I feel like Hannibal Smith. I love it when a plan comes together. because I thought I was gonna have to chase Def off with verbal fucking abuse. So I want to shout out Def. I'm KV. I appreciate y'all for sticking around for so long. Miss Brinson, as usual, I appreciate you for sticking around. T, Olo, Lila, El Shurin, Fakwa, Olo. Appreciate Grace, Denise. Appreciate all of y'all for coming through. It's been a fun time, man. It's been a fun time, and we'll be back next week with the same shit. Probably a different conspiracy, or maybe we'll have more updates on what Trump and Vice President Harris is doing. So, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Tomorrow I should be back, and I'll probably be on some musical shit because I'm gonna make sure I get nice and lifted. I'm gonna get right like I did tonight, and I'm gonna be playing music. I'm gonna be playing Harlem shit, and I'm gonna be introducing y'all because now everybody want to be fans of my man Mace and fans of my boy Cam. You know what I mean? These ain't my boys, but still ain't my boys. You know what I mean? If you're gonna talk about fandom, these are my boys. Now everybody wants to be fans of Harlem, so I have something to say about it, and I have more. I have more reasons to give you. You know what I mean? For you to be fans of Harlem. You know what I mean? Always.
You know what?
And as usual, I'm
Jacky.
Harlem's HNIC. Go ahead, brother.
Do you remember Harlem 8? The
Harlem
Harlem
8?
8? Yeah. They were this group. You were talking about me being certified. I don't know, man. I think I got a receipt here, man. What I'm saying is that Harlem 8 recorded a fucking video on 117th Street between Park and Lex there. And I'm standing in a fucking crowd with the cameras going by in that fucking video. No bullshit.
Okay, then, shit.
Harlem 8.
Yeah,
Harlem 8. It
that's
goes back
definitely.
to 2007, 2006. But yeah, dude. Yeah, you want to see some shit. All right,
Well,
you'll see
shit, that's
moves
some shit you
standing
can look
there.
up.
Yeah, you go right down the block. Because we're all leaning up in a wrought iron fence, and the camera's passing by, and yeah, we're all just fucking standing there, striking pose, and waiting for the shit to go by. Yeah, check out Harlem 8. Yeah, fuck you,
Harlem 8,
Dexter,
look
man.
up Harlem 8. You'll
God
find my
damn,
man
man.
Moves.
Yeah, I gotta go
Case
back
was looking
15 fucking
smoother than
years
moves
for this
by
shit, man.
Villanova.
I forgot how I earned my stripes. Shit.
Word, man. But yeah, but like I was saying before we get up out of here, check the Harlem 8. Y'all will find Moves because Moves is official, definitely. Don't make me have to bring people from the East Side on the show to sit there and tell y'all Moves is official and shit. I don't want to have to do that. But yeah, appreciate it. And yeah, Mace. Everybody's a fucking Mace fan now because he dropped the goddamn freestyle. Where the fuck was y'all in 1997, 98, 99? Where was y'all at? Like, you know what I'm saying? Where was everybody at? And, stop that shit. Stop that shit, Def. It's quiet. I ain't even gonna. I'm gonna leave that alone. But we gonna be back next week. Probably be back tomorrow, and on Wednesday and maybe Thursday. Well, Wednesdays definitely. Doc, myself, and Doc will be here with Yellow Tape, and we'll be talking about the latest in mental health and issues across America and sometimes internationally. And then the next show after that, it'll probably be another Yellow Tape edition that we'll be speaking on sports from around the NFL, NBA, MLB. And sometimes he speaks on the NHL. And I'm making sure I point out sometimes he speaks on the NHL. So don't ask Uncle Jacky shit about that shit if you ain't talking about if you talk about more than the Rangers. But
God
yeah,
dang.
yeah, I don't speak. I'm not gonna speak where I don't know
I'm sorry, it's funny as fuck.
of. Yeah, I'm not gonna speak on what I don't know. So if you want to know where to bet on when it comes to hockey, you speak to him exclusively. He follows. He'll know more than I would who to put your money on when it comes to hockey and all of that shit.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm gonna reiterate. Appreciate you, Moves, for coming out. My man Moves is
What you
official.
doing?
Appreciate
Well, it's
you.
not official now because, like, I don't know a fucking thing about hockey. I know a
Me
couple
neither.
teams. That's about it, man. I mean,
Yo,
my
that's it.
club team,
I know all the
that
teams,
takes some
but
fucking
that's it.
research to do, man. It really does. Much
Yeah,
respect to you, dog.
Yeah, definitely.
I could
If
never
you go back
get
to the
into it,
90s, I
man.
know the 90s. I know the 90s and
Yeah,
early 2000s with hockey. I don't know any more after
it's
that.
like me,
So
me
if you
and
want to get some
soccer,
money
man.
with
I
hockey,
know, I
talk
know.
about that.
It's like soccer. I know Pele played. Okay, that's what I know about fucking soccer. All
And
right.
that's where the buck stops.
And God
Hey,
rest the man.
after Pele, I know the next generation with Roberto Baggio, and I forgot the Italian dude's name. But yeah, when it comes to soccer, I don't know shit. I do
No,
probably know the lead
I,
man's
I'm
name,
kind of
but
I'm kind of ashamed of it, but shit, because it is. It's a big sport. The world loves it.
yeah, it
But
does hurt.
hockey,
Hockey does
yeah.
hurt. Respect to them. Hey,
Anyhow,
KV, you
fellas,
have a
yeah,
blessed evening too, for real. But we
Okay,
about to
okay.
get up out of here, man. I appreciate you, moves. I appreciate you, Doc 718 yellow tape. Doc 718 yellow tape and moves. Moves is official. Harlem 8 and you'll find them. But and remember HNIC, Harlem's HNIC. Uncle Jacky, like, sub, and share. It's all
Yo,
love. I hope to see all
got love
y'all
for you.
next week.
Word. Got love for you too, Def. Peace, brother.
yeah. Love
Word.
you all,
Be
man.
good.
Y'all be good. Y'all be good or be good at
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Y'all be good. Be good. One.
You see, talks like his shit don't stink, but he's cool with people. I knew he's fine. She's Uncle Jacky better. Jacky was alright. Uncle Jacky was excellent. Fucking guineas. Uncle Jacky. Uncle Jacky. You see, talks like his shit don't stink, but he's cool with people. I knew he's fine. She's Uncle Jacky better. Jacky was alright. Uncle Jacky was excellent. Fucking guineas. Uncle Jacky. Uncle Jacky. Line, everybody get in line. Listen the fuck up. It's going down. Pay attention. Alright? Now, niggas a little weird. Bitches a little weird. The flights a little weird. The heart a little weird. Bitches a little weird. Faces a little weird. Fuck who you are. You can never fucking general. Niggas a little weird. Bitches a little weird. The flights a little weird. The heart a little weird. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. Fuck who you are. When I walk through, everything stops. Silence, remain quiet. Things don't cry. Thug. Yo, I think it's time we take a fucking time out to hear what Harlem got to say. What, niggas? Harlem on the vibes. You don't want no problem with us, guys.
Practice. I can show you practice. I can show you how to put $1 million in a mattress. I can show the difference between an icon and a classic. Baby in the major should be rolling in a basket. I'm advanced, and it's a lot of dance. From anywhere, my jewelry jump like Ja Morant. And Kif Tower shorts got me tanning with the babes. You would be a surfer if you ever had this wave. I just switch up my cabana, they throw shade. Matter top 5 and top wives, no I'm the fade. And though I'm out the loop, I be mute, playing cute, nothing to say to you. Cause when I'm back home, I'm like Kyrie, I won't play with you. This is magic with the fur. Tim Duncan on the spur. Tanya Harton on the skate. This that Kobe number 8. This the kick over the head in the hand of Sue Bird. This boy's superb. All I got is 2 words.
Middle of the game, I'm standing out in the crowd. Arms so hard, gotta stack that can't stop my vibe. Got the beats banging, speakers bumping loud. I'm the king of the game, standing out in the crowd. I'm so hard, gotta stack that cash. Yellow tape wrapped around, I'm making a splash. My flow so hot, it's burning up the scene when I step into the room. You know what I mean. Yellow tape, yellow tape, yellow tape. We on fire, we the ones in charge. Ain't none time, turn it up. Let the beat drop low. Yellow tape everywhere, it's our time to show.
South Beach murder, man, my crew come through. Every time I drop the top, the roof come too. Got no big homies, we know who runs who. Yeah, novice nigga ever from the 2-1. Check it. Nike Tech, bubble coke, Kyrie, smoking dry weed. So much drugs in a nigga system, need BIV. Baddies on my body, all the hotties call me Poppy. Chop cheese from hobby, niggas still living high speed. I scoop all tender, I don't do dinner. Climbing Venner, Lambo renter, stay high to the center. I told the niggas save a bread of no public defenders. We doing a lot of wicked shit, so don't you jump in this sprinter, nigga. Ain't on no funny shit, niggas die over money shit. About to spend on a child friend, my mom be on some other shit. They heard the murder up again, get time back to the government, cutting shit. A nigga walk the child with the oven mitts. They see me in the ski mask, they know I'm selling re-rap. Hit him in his kneecap, stomach bubble like wheatgrass. Niggas don't really know me, they just know that I'm moving. And I handle my business like the Soviet Union. We can go body for body, hottie for hottie, thotty for thotty, robbery for robbery, Rari for Rari, the homie for homie, lobby for lobby, nigga, choppy for choppy. We can go switch for switch or go lami for lami. I'm so bossy, call me Hugo, 80K on a Hublot. Cops pull me out the two-door, I'm high as Pluto. Mommies love me like Menudo, already got it, you know. I get a bag of blue nose to do their party 2 shows. These niggas sweet as fruit codes, tour days 2 codes. I ain't never do those, the Celsius is too cold. You f***ing with that dudo, you never sip on Nuvo. I'm giving new lows, you make a movie off me, you gon' need a new role. You just a bum in the pussy, that's why I call you puto. I got some foreigners out of town that chop it up just like a jitter judo. F*** a body cam, my left and give you 7 like Ikuko. Next time they say with him, tell him you go.
Peace, y'all. We out. You already know.